Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hey,
Uh-oh.
what's up? What's up, everybody?
God.
Turtle Soup. Here we
What
are.
Turtle Soup, baby? Pre-game.
Yep.
Special pre-game for a special episode.
There you go.
We got John Clemens, as always, starts out turn up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then he says music's mellow, which is fine. But I'd add a little spice, just a spice, just a touch. And then I said,
cool.
because I was on the back porch, I said, maybe. This is live, Lex. John Klein's in the chat.
Yeah, that music was something that I threw together trying to make something happen, I guess. But yeah, we can I heard it the other day and I was like, I might need to make another thing, but the convoluted way that I got all of that to work was very much a pain in the ass. So because most of the things that people don't know about Turtle Soup, besides our wonderful mics and other things that we've acquired through the wonderful patrons here, ours, I guess. Besides all that, the actual alchemy that has to happen to get all this stuff to work right, like the slime and all this other stuff, it's some black magic type stuff, and it's wild. But I will do my best to see if I can. I mean,
I could do something. So what happened was I made 3 10-minute pieces of music for this.
Mm-hmm.
For literally as roll-up music.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, I thought we were running 10 minutes. But then it turned out it was 15. And I was like, oh. And one piece I'm really, really proud of. Seriously, it's I don't think I
don't even think
I may have played it for you. But I was super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 10 minutes.
Mm.
And it's this whole really cool thing where it's kind of jazzy. I play this sick lead line, and it's so good.
Oh, nice.
And then the lead, it trades off between electric guitar lead and electric piano lead.
Oh, nice.
And they kind of echo each other. And I was so excited. And then it ends in this super shoegaze wash of distortion. It's so cool.
Oh,
I imagine I was literally soundtrack. I was soundtracking. I was okay, so then the last minute or two is this kind of big distortion lead up. You know what I mean? And we come in live and everything like that. And then it was the block's 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, shit. And it completely got screwed up. So maybe I could rework it or extend it or something. But I was always really happy.
Paste,
I threw one of them.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, but it's not really one of those pieces. You know what I'm saying? Because it's got little lead lines all over it. It's like a musical journey. It's the whole idea was it was supposed to
I think all you got to do, Ryan,
build up.
I think all you got to do is do this number, and then you just you can make it happen, right?
Oh,
isn't that all it is?
So it's like a remix.
Yeah, M can let me
know,
right?
You're looking for the
M does
remix,
all that stuff. So you just take one headphone off behind the ear. You can't do this. This looks dumb,
of course,
right?
No, I mean if you're, I don't even know what is this? What is a front?
I think this is how Lex and Matt podcast. I think this is how they.
Oh,
they do
true.
It.
That's probably why. I may be able to confirm that.
Right, which makes for great.
You
podcasting.
gotta run behind.
But
you gotta run behind
for music. You got to do the back. Yeah. But
what's funny is on camera, my head, whenever I first get set up, I'm getting my camera settings right.
Yeah.
I don't have headphones on.
Right.
So my head looks a whole lot thinner and more normal. But then for some reason, when I put on the headphones, probably because of the black background, when I put on my headphones, all of a sudden I just look like Mecca High, Mecca Hiney Ho for some reason. My face gets my face gets 10 inches wider.
Yeah.
For no reason. I don't know why. It's very strange. Let's see. So we've got Lex saying that she's here. Applejack is crafting. Sends her love. Appreciate that, Applejack. This is live, Lex, and also this is love. You know what I'm saying? You're witnessing it live. Noah's here. Soup's on, boys. John Clemens trying to assemble a 3D printer, which isn't related to anything here, but I might not respond super fast. Yeah, no. 3D printers are great. I really want one. I'm kind of scared of what I'd get up to with it, though. That's great. Lex says, yeah, we podcast up front, mullet mic party in the front.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's what we call it in the business. We put it on the tee. She knocks out the park. That's what we do.
Dang. John Klein making grilled cheese. That's legit. I haven't made grilled cheese sandwich in a long time. Or is it, yeah.
I mean, if quesadillas are basically Mexican grilled cheese, then I've made those because I think that's kind of what it is.
You never made a grilled cheese sandwich with bread, regular bread?
Oh, I mean, I have in the past, of course, but
okay.
But in the recent future, or recent present, whatever it is, whatever time it is. Yeah, no, not recently.
Whatever day of future past it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to do too many things at once. Yeah.
Mitch Fletcher ordered pizza for tonight. So about tonight.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be different. My bottom
we'll give you. And I just finished eating it. So Mitch, you set yourself up, or Malik. I need to know which one you prefer going under. Like whenever I reference you, but you kind of set yourself up for one of those like, I came here to eat pizza and watch Turtle Soup, and I'm all out of pizza. Like you could basically say I came here to eat pizza and like fill in the blank, like and kick ass or whatever, and you can say, but I'm all out of pizza because you ate it all. You see. So about today, and tonight's podcast. So we're doing something different here, and we've mentioned it before. Those of you looking for the next issue of Image might be a tiddly bit disappointed because we are not doing that this week. You may have heard us talk about it before, but we're moving forward, and we really want your guys' help with this. This is the biggest thing. We want chat and like people that watch us on YouTube and are big fans of that to really help us build this thing. But we decided that at the end of the month, the last week of the month, some months have like 5 Thursdays. That's like a thing that can happen sometimes. It would be the 5th Thursday. It would just be the last Thursday of every month. We are not going to do a traditional Turtle Soup episode. Instead, we're going to kind of have like this bonus thing we're trying to do. It's more like a Turtle Soup live stream that is super chat like interactive. And has us moving through like a series of like modular segments, like different things we would do. Like, so, and we're going to explain this a lot further. So I'm like, you're going to get more explanation when we actually start the show.
Yeah.
But just to suffice, maybe I might save a lot of the inner workings for that. But just suffice to say, that this is we're going to be doing a lot of news, because Toy Fair happened and, hope I survived the experience. We're going to be doing a rather gigantic news segment about all the things that NECA revealed with Toy Fair 2022. And we're going to be going back to an email that we got. I actually have it saved right here.
Yeah.
From John Klein asking like what a 87 TMNT crossover with the 89 Pride of the X-Men or just X-Men 89 cartoon would have looked like. And he threw in a little stuff in here too, which is pretty cool, like about his kind of ideas. Oh, wait a minute. So he actually, this is an email. He said, "Old Dad Brain can't recall who posed the original question."
Yeah,
so
I don't think
it was
him.
John.
It wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Okay.
It's been so long, I can't remember. So forgive us.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Okay, so John. So John Klein on the assist, because I think we did ask like for someone to maybe try to like send that to us or something, so we wouldn't like lose it.
I'm looking through the notes.
But if you ask the part of the X-Men question, then step up. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself known so we can properly attribute it. So there's that. So we'll be kind of going into more of a discussion about TMNT and X-Men in that iteration, that 89 iteration, and kind of like what, because I think it is a tantalizing question because the two were so close.
Oh yeah.
By 89, they were on season 2. And that would have been a prime time to cross them over with the X-Men. So I'm really excited about that question.
Yeah.
And that's all we really have planned for tonight.
Right.
So the beginning's going to feel a little bit like a Turtle Soup episode with the big news segment you're going to see live. But then we're going to move into this email thing, and we'll explain it more on the show, but it's kind of all right. So catch up with chat.
Yeah.
So Mitch says that either name is fine.
Okay.
So I'm probably just going to vacillate between the two. John Clemens says, Turtle Soup only at Squid Game. Play Turtles related games and get domed if you screw up. I kind of love that.
Ooh.
Paul Calco's in the chat. So sorry he's late. But you know what? You're not late because you're in the pregame. You're early.
Exactly.
You're early for the main show. Lex, I was not the helper as I've never helped a day in my life. I mean, that just sounds like she's just trying to denigrate her on herself. Lex has helped me a bunch.
Yeah, she's tried to help me a bunch, but I'm just playing. She made me buy new shoes, and it was better. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
But she hates you though.
Oh, of course.
usually,
It's a mutual hatred.
Anything she's trying to help you with is probably like a monkey's paw help.
So you know those people that are like flat haters, like they believe in a flat hate and not a round hate. See, I'm a round hater because you hate so much that it goes around to love.
Spherical. You believe in a spherical hate,
right? Like it becomes a cardioid eventually, and that's So that's what me and Lex have.
But a cardioid kind of like would describe that there are little gaps in it.
There are always
is that
gaps.
where like I fit? Do I fit in like one like because a
fit in all
cardioid
my
would be like
gaps,
if you
Ryan.
cut an apple. They got him.
Got him. That's it.
You'd be like if you like cut an apple in half. That's like a cardioid pattern. So,
Right.
So there is like where the little stem and where the little butthole of the apple is. There is like a little like gap where like I could maybe and you don't hate me as much.
Of course. Exactly. There you go.
Paul, it's freezing balls here in Texas, and I'm cleaning portables. So I'll be
Ooh.
in and out. You know what, Paul? We're glad you're here. Nick Douglas in the chat. What up, fellas?
What
What
up?
up? It's like a circle. Yeah. So I had two things happen to me that I want to tell you about Eric really fast.
Okay.
Because they're both kind of blowouts.
Oh, goodness.
So
all right.
I'll tell them in chronological order really fast. So my day's been fun. So Wednesday night. No, hold on a minute.
That was last night.
Last night. Okay, Tuesday night.
Okay.
I shower. Like afternoon. I shower.
Right.
I notice that the shower's not draining very well.
Okay.
But I'm like, like it does that every once in a while. And I'm like, I usually have a trick where I bought a plunger specifically for the shower.
Oh, okay.
To help it, like, to plunge it. But then I'm like, okay, good. You're the shower plunger. See, because there's no poop in my shower. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
Sure.
So I have the shower plunger. And I'm like, I usually have to, like, plunge it down. I can go, and then it goes away. Well, I tried a little bit before I got in the shower, and it didn't really help. And then I got out, and there was some shower water in the bottom of the shower, but I got out and lived my life. Well, Wednesday night, Alicia, my wife, goes to take a shower. And she goes, when did you shower last?
Ooh.
I'm like, Tuesday night.
That's never
she
a
goes,
question you want to answer.
There's still a bunch of actual water. Like it never drained. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I told her, I'm like, okay. I'm like, look, like I'll try to get to it in the morning before I go to work. So this morning I run out, grab a big bottle of liquid heat. You know what I'm saying? By Zep.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it says it works in standing water, which I currently have in my shower. And I ain't looking to like bail out water from my shower. It's like not a thing.
Now, does this have, does this come in its own like zipped bag and is like completely black and it has like a the skull and crossbones saying poison on it?
Yeah, the bottle is actually like black. And,
because
it says use 16 ounces, but it's a 33 ounce bottle. So I believe that's just like a wink, nod, like suggestion. So I poured the whole thing in there.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
you never use the amount of Drano you're supposed to. You always use a lot of Drano.
The one my dad told me to go, he's like, Eric, just go to Home Depot and look in that area and look for something that's in a bag that says like will kill everything. It just looks like it's poison and just horrible. And so my anxiety, so I went and did it, and my anxiety went through the roof. So I bought all the gloves. I basically look like Marty McFly when he's talking to his dad, like he's in the spacesuit looking thing. That's how I look when I'm cleaning my drains. But anyway, continue.
So I did wind up. So I bring it home, and I did wind up donning some of my black nitrile gloves I use for painting, my respirator, and goggles. Because I don't play with that stuff either. I'm sure it's one of those things. Like, yeah, if you leave it on your skin for like an hour, it may get like really inflamed. Like I'm sure it's not that dangerous, but I feel like it is.
Yeah.
So I came to the table with that, poured in there, and I kind of had to get going. And I was kind of hoping I would see some progress. And I did. I saw it like start to drain a little bit. And I'm like, all right, like it's going down. Cool. So I'm out. So, but it was like I said, there was probably like an inch of water, and it already, by the time like 15 minutes passed, already like half an inch had like dropped down. I could see. I'm like, okay, so by the time I get home, it'll be great. So I get home, and sure enough, the drain is, it's all empty. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I start running some water to get all the Drano crap off the bottom of the floor of the shower, and it just backs up again.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
So I get the patented shower plunger. And honestly, like 2 plunges, and I hear a big bluh, and like it all goes down. And I'm like, all right, sweet. So like it needed a little plunging, but now I'm probably good for the next like 6 months because like this is like every 6 months kind of situation where I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So it's done. So
it could be because of all those all those wedding rings that fell down there, right? That could be.
It's all the wedding rings that fell.
It. Yeah, just
the truth is, it's sharing a shower with a woman is what it is. They shed. Their hair is the worst.
Little known
it gets
fact.
everywhere, and it's just real life. And I'm throwing my wife under the bus, but I feel like I'm throwing every woman under the bus. So it's kind of like she's not being picked out individually. I would say it was me, except I have no hair to speak of. So except
it could just be anyone
probably,
with
long
hair.
You and Shannon probably need to invest in a snake. You know what I'm saying, between the two of you.
So we'll be in bed, and I'll try to get up, and her head will come with me, and it's because our hair got tangled up in the night, in the scrunchies, and then we're together.
It made like a rat king.
A rat king.
Basically.
But then sometimes my cat's in the middle of it because the cat likes to sleep at the head of the bed with us. Of course, I make him wipe his paws.
You have a cat that sleeps at the head of the bed next to your actual head?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's terrifying. And so,
okay.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Okay.
So
I'm on the phone with Alicia now. She's driving home and I'm talking to her. I'm like, and I'm literally like, I plunge and I'm like, hell yeah. So she's heard this whole drama live. And she's like, oh, awesome. And so I'm running hot water from the shower and it's draining like perfect. And I go, you know what? Like, it's kind of going down. I have like one of those rain shower heads. It's going down on the middle, but like I can see some of that white, like kind of Drano fluid stuff kind of up in the corners. I'm like, oh, let me tilt this thing up to get it, where it runs off the wall and you get them corners. I go to bend that thing up and it goddamn explodes. Like
what?
I guess it was just wore out. We've had it for like several years. One of the little angles where the two pipes meet, where you can like on the shower head itself, not like the pipe going to into the wall.
Yeah.
Where you can turn it, it just went, and it broke the whole thing off there. And now there's like a Cyclops beam of like water like punishing my tiles. Like honestly, with enough power, I felt like almost like blow a hole in it. Like it was crazy, and I'm like, oh, God damn it. I turn it off, and I'm just sitting there like so pissed because I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Literally, like, this is an actual case of that classic, like I got a can but no can opener. Now I have a can opener but no can.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm like, oh.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode, essentially. Like,
it's like time enough at last situation.
There's time at last, yeah.
There's time enough at last. And then he's like destroyed. So tomorrow morning will be the shower head journey.
Oh.
Then I'll come back, hook it up, and then clean my shower, and then I can take an actual shower. So that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say is that I went to McDonald's with the kids because Alicia is hanging out with a friend tonight, and so I'm like, hey, let's go get McDonald's. So I get McDonald's, and sometimes when I'm really feeling like I need it, I know this is probably really gross, but when I feel like I just need a little something extra, a little comfort. Oh God, this is so nasty. I order double cheeseburgers with no pickle, but then I asked for extra cheese.
Oh,
I know it's gross.
What?
Like I know it's like it's kind of gross.
Extra? Why is that gross? Why is that gross?
I don't know. It just feels really excessive.
Hold on, you were psyching me up for something else. Extra cheese. There's nothing wrong with extra cheese.
Oh, get ready.
Jeez.
It is something else.
Oh, jeez.
I wouldn't be coming here if I was like, yo, I got extra cheese. Oh, I said it. I got extra cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the girl like can't comprehend this. Like even when I pull up to pay, she's like, "Wait, no, you said you wanted extra cheese." I'm like, "Yeah, just like double cheeseburger, no pickle, extra cheese." I don't know, like what do you want? Like, and she's like, "Okay," and like she finally rings me up. I get it home. Not only does it have an extra cheese, but it has a third patty in there as well.
Oh,
it is a triple cheeseburger.
A triple cheeseburger. Okay.
Now, I'm starving, and that looks good. And the first one I eat is damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Then I eat the second one.
Ooh.
And then I eat some fries.
Ooh. Yeah.
And let me tell you, Eric, I'm right now in the throes of the consequences of having broken the bread to meat ratio.
That's it. It's a perfect ratio.
I broke the bread to meat ratio.
You know better than this. You know better. Now, it's not your fault.
I mean,
it's not your fault. You didn't ask for that. And you didn't want to waste the food.
No.
So
exactly. I'm going to like pick a patty off your burger.
No,
like,
you can't do that. You can't do that because you can't feed that stuff to animals. They won't eat it. So like you don't want to throw it away. So no, I get it. So you shouldn't feel so
I'm not
bad.
just going to eat one. I'm not just going to eat one double cheeseburger, like one triple cheeseburger, because that's one less patty than I get with 2 double cheeseburgers.
Right, exactly. So the math doesn't add up.
So like, I'm not going to starve myself here. I mean, I literally got the extra cheese and the nasty McDonald's because I wanted that nasty comfort food. But now it was so good going down. But let me tell you what, like my stomach feels like there's a bowling ball in it, and I broke it. I broke the meat to bread ratio. I did it.
Well, you know how
Orline wrote the book on that topic.
Yeah.
I've done so many studies myself in the meat to bread ratio, and I broke my own rules, and now I'm paying the price.
Well, I think the reason why she got crossed up is because much how we try to tell ourselves not to do math on the mic. Math on the mic does not work.
Math on the mic don't work.
So I wonder if math on the Mac doesn't work either. McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? See, I think that there's something there that it just can't work. Yeah, it's a thing. So
I'm sure that's what it is.
Getting back with chat real quick, Lex confirms that hate is a flat circle. That's where we disagree. But well, actually, no, it might be a flat circle. It could be round. Whatever comes around goes around, whatever that Justin Timberlake song is. Let's see. Paul saying that Lex helped me out too a few months back. Some of her outlook put some perspective on some things I was dealing with. I'm glad her Outlook email helped you out then, because
that's legit.
Yeah, I said that because Outlook is capitalized, so it made me think that it was Outlook. Sorry, I had to explain it for the audio people. Yeah, and then let's see here. Noah, freezing balls here in California too, like 58 degrees. Goodness, that sounds amazing right now.
He's making a joke.
So Mitch Fletcher saying, anyone else feel like Playmates shouldn't have the TMNT license anymore? Just saying. I think a lot of people are saying that, and we can get into a little bit of that
especially in light of Toy Fair 2022.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Let's see. John Clemens, we all know what Eric's mutating into if he touches mutagen if 87 rules are in effect. Yeah, more than likely 2 cats is what I'll turn into. Let's see. TMNT 713.
That kind of messes with my cat April thing.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah, that's
dude.
David. That's David Thompson, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's migrated his way to YouTube, and I'm all about it.
So let's see here. Noah saying that love me a burger with extra cheese, but I'm all about that pickle. I mean, we talked in the show about pickles with me. Like, I've come around a long way with that bread and butter, and now the what are they called?
God, that fucking bread and butter.
Basically the hot
that's all you say.
The spicy ones now, like they're like bread and butter, but they're spicy. Oh, it's so good.
No, pickles are cucumbers. They're cucumber. They're preserved cucumbers preserved in formaldehyde. It's an abomination. They're slimy and gross.
You're allowed to be wrong, Ryan. It's all right. But Francisco coming in with sup family. I need to catch up with last week's main serving. Ooh, I like referring to them as servings. That's interesting. Before I deep dive into today's main content, enjoying the pre-show. Well, and he also says, sounds like a righteous burger to me. Return of the Mac. Oh, Return of the Mac.
So you may not have to, Francisco.
That's right.
Because this episode's a little different. We're doing some news. This is like a kind of an end of the month bonus thing. We're gonna get to that when the main show comes up. But like, we're not doing content, so you're not gonna be like spoiled on image or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
We're doing some fun news, and
this is where we're gonna bring the stuff that everyone's been asking us to come back with. So the come out and fight. That's the dims, the rules, the all the classic
once again.
Stuff. And so we're going to be doing those. We might not get to all of them tonight because, like Ryan said earlier, the news segment kind of just like came upon us, and we were like, "Oh, we weren't necessarily ready for this, but this is an opportune time to do it."
We're gonna fully explain the whole concept and idea behind these end of the month kind of live stream hangout episodes when the main episode starts. I don't want to repeat myself, but I have a whole thing in my head.
Oh, okay.
How to explain it?
Okay,
the whole concept thing. Like, I dress up. It's like a one-man play.
Yeah. A one-man play?
A one-man play. I'm going to start doing the thing again where I freeze.
Okay, good. That was always great content. But Noah says, my wife did homemade pickles last year. About 30 jars. So good. Well, that sounds delicious. Yeah, if they're... I like them crunchy. I don't like the chewy ones.
Noah said... Hell no, eat that shit and then deal with the food baby afterwards. That's what I did, Noah.
Goodness.
But bro, I don't know what it is, man. And you know me, I can like eat a bunch of food and I'll deal with the food baby. Honestly, I've been very fortunate in my life where like I don't have like my stomach's pretty iron. I'm not that guy who's like, oh, I had two pieces of pizza. I'm destroyed for days. Like I can eat Taco Bell like a champ and just burp and move about my business. I've been so fortunate that my stomach is not picky. That's almost why when I feel like this, I get a little worried because I'm kind of like, that was a pretty egregious break with the rules. If I'm feeling bad after I eat. Because I can eat. You've seen what I'm capable of putting down, Eric.
I've seen the things that you've put into your body, and it's sometimes it's astounding that you're still with us.
My superpowers are dulled a bit now, because like with the pandemic, I started eating at home and like eating actual like good food and not as much of it. So like, what was it the other day? I went to Publix and I was at Publix picking up a prescription. And I was like, bro, I'm going to get my old school, bro. I'm going to get that full pound of buffalo tenders. I'm going to get that half pound of the potato wedges. I'm going to go home and watch Seinfeld, and I'm going to stuff my actual face. At this point, like, I had shingles. I felt super bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to eat this, man. Like, I don't care. Dude, your boy got through about maybe 3/4 of the tenders. Like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe more like 3/5. Then I had like about half those potato wedges, and your boy was like, loosen the belt a notch, lay on the couch. I was that blown out.
Did you do the old Napoleon? Did you have that going on?
I did the old. I did, and I had the old Napoleon kick, and I was like kicking like seriously, I had the old Napoleon, and I remember thinking. I told Alicia afterwards, I was like, dude, back in the day, I would have punished that and been like, okay. And then I would have had something sweet after that. I'd be like, how about some cookies? Like that's how I was. And I cannot put that kind of food down now.
Yeah, no.
But back, I mean, my Zaxby's order, bro. Remember that thing?
Oh, yeah.
You can feed a small nation.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Jesus.
Francis, this is my man, Ryan. No,
my man.
I'm your man, boy. All right, so we got to get.
We got to get.
We're running a little bit over. Like I said, in 5 minutes, we'll be back with our main show, which is going to be kind of a bonus episode today. And so, but news. It's mainly going to be news. It's not the actual like promise of the premise of like what we want this to totally be, because it's going to have an obnoxiously large news segment in it.
Yeah.
And that is kind of like going to feel a lot like main turtle soup for like a long time until it doesn't. But, we'll see you back on the flip side with that, and we'll explain a little more about this whole modular kind of bonus episode idea we had for the end of the month and everything like that. And remember, if you are watching this and thinking like, oh, like Francisco, like, oh man, I got that last serving, I can't get spoiled. Like, we're not doing Image tonight.
Yeah.
So like,
no actual steps.
Hang out, but we need you in the chat to make the show work.
Yeah.
You know what
definitely.
I'm saying? That's a big part of it. And I'll get to that later when we come back from main show.
Right. So we'll catch you on the Prime side. Hey, greetings, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to Turtle
What
Soup.
is up? It is so weird to not do the intro. So, guys,
yeah.
this is Turtle Soup, as you know. This is a special episode. This is something new we're doing.
Yes.
So, to introduce it, first of all, we need chat's help to name it. You know what I'm saying? Because Eric and I could not think of a name for this. I'll describe it, and then you throw some names in the chat, and we'll see what sticks. We'll figure it out. But at the end of the month, the last week of the month, whether that be, it's the last week. If there's 5 Thursdays, guess what? There's 4 episodes of Turtle Soup, and there's one of these. If it's 4, then whatever. The last Thursday of the month is going to be a new thing we're doing where it's not going to be a traditional episode. It is going to be kind of like a bag of tricks kind of thing. It's basically a modular live stream where we hang out with chat. We we have really cool segments we want to do. Eric said something really smart in the pregame show about how effectively it's one of those things for us to get a chance to catch up on things that we normally say we want to do, and then we just run out of time.
Yeah.
And we're very conscious of that. Whenever we do our pre-production meetings, we talk about the show. We're always like, oh, we got these turtles come out and fight that stacking up. We got mail, these longer emails that we couldn't do on the show stacking up and whatever. And this is a chance for us to do that thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be developing this concept with you guys live. So we want to do come out and fight that. We want to do dims to rules. We want to do all kind of cool segments. So on today's show, we got news. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily how we planned these to go.
Right.
But Toy Fair 2022 dictates that, and I'm sure if you're on the Facebook group, you've seen it.
Yes.
Literally everywhere. The toy world has gone insane.
So that's so that just happened to be this week when all that came out. So we're gonna definitely. So normally, this would be a new segment that's gonna be in the normal episode of Turtle Soup. But like Ryan was saying earlier, and if you have no idea what Ryan was talking about, if you're new and you don't know what Dims the Rules is and all this other stuff, we're gonna explain that at the back end of this. So hold on, baby birds. We're gonna feed you. But like Ryan said, also again in the chat, come up with some names. It's essentially a as you were talking, I thought about, I was like, oh yeah, it is essentially a step in the journey bag of tricks, essentially is what it is. Same difference.
It's like a bonus live stream because we initially talked about how we might need to moderate the weekly soup every single week, but we also want to live stream every week. We want to know, we want everyone to know oh man, Thursday night I'm going to hang out with the boys, we're doing Turtle Soup. So, and we love doing this, so we were well then how do we kind of marry the idea of taking a kind of a week off or doing something different with wanting to be online and wanting to stream and stuff. So this is there's currently no plans to make this audio. It's just because it's gonna usually involve a lot of visuals, and this is for our listeners that have come over to YouTube and want to come hang out in the live stream. That's one of those things that we love, and that I don't even know if we knew how much we love it before we started doing it.
Right.
But now that we get to interact with you guys, it's addictive and it's really cool. So this episode we're doing big toy stuff, and it's gonna feel like Turtle Soup for a hot minute, like an actual episode, like a prime.
Yeah.
Then we're going to answer an email that was sent to us concerning a crossover between the TMNT 87 series and the 89 X-Men series, also known as Pride of the X-Men.
Right.
It was a chat question we got, I think, that we died over, and we asked someone oh my God, somebody email it to us so we don't forget it, and John Klein obliged, but he was not the original poster. So if you were the original, if you were the OP, as they say, the cool kids say in 2004, if you were the OP, let us know so we can give you some credit. But we're going to talk about that in kind of a loose form and just kind of see what you guys think about it. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about our future ideas for it. But the idea for this kind of thing is I consider it like a modular live stream where all of a sudden we can shift to different segments.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of times based on what you guys want. So if we hear chat say dims the rules, oh shit, we got to go in. And and we do one. It's a little bit jumping through hoops a little bit. It's kind of fun. But we want to make it fun, and we might want to make it last about 2 hours. And it's just that end of the month kind of celebration of another month in the book, boys, and we go
Right.
ahead. So that's kind of what we're going for.
So if you have any emails like that are longer form that you needed to have, you couldn't just get it out in a sentence or two that we could put in a comment or in the chat or like on the main show, we would save it. Feel free to do. This is where you would want to do this, where we'd save that for. So email us at turtlesoup@gmail.com. Again, we're on YouTube right now. If you're hearing us and watching us, I think this is the only way you'd be seeing us right now. Again, comment in the chat. We're going to be keeping track of everything as best we can. But if all else fails in your word, we're going to miss it. The hotline, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com.
Absolutely. It might help too if you want to send a more of a long form, for a segment, like, oh, what do you guys think about this or whatever? Maybe add in the subject line something like, monthly bonus episode, monthly, something like in the subject line. So that way we can see it. And the minute I see it, I go, oh, legit. Like, I'm going to read this, talk to Eric about it. We're going to save it instead of thinking like, oh, it's going to go on Prime or whatever.
Right.
So it's a good chance for us to do that. And once again, I just want to say that we are wanting to craft this kind of end of the month thing with you guys. And that's a very important thing. So your input matters.
It does.
So
it does.
Drop it in,
drop it in. Speaking of dropping in, we got some. Oh, dang it! I should have said. And speaking of nudes, I should have said we got some news. Dang it!
Now,
you set me up.
It's fine.
And
it's fine.
That's that time. It's that time in T-ball when I struck out, Ryan. I've stricken out at T-ball. That's what that was again, right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone's done it. Tell me
really?
You've done it in chat.
Oh man, yeah. Let us know because I always thought I was the only one all of history.
The first time a kid is has I think almost every kid the first time they go try to hit a ball off a tee and try to play T-ball, they miss the ball a bunch and they strike out. I feel like that's the thing.
I think I looked back
because you have to hit the ball legitimately. If they count, I hit the bottom of I hit the tee, and the ball kind of rolled toward where the pitcher would be, and that's considered I hit the ball. Then maybe nobody struck out.
Okay,
but
okay.
If it's you got to get it clean or it's a foul or something like that, then you're out.
I think I remember swinging and missing and looking back at the catcher to see if he caught it. I'm like, no, the ball's still there. It didn't go there. Yeah, it was bad. I don't know sports well. Yeah.
I love it. I love the idea. Oh my God. Something about the idea of seeing you swing on the third one, miss it, look back at the catcher, look at the ump and go that was a strike?
Right.
That kind of classic, it's that thing in baseball and I love it so much. It should be, honestly, it should be like an animation in fighting games, where you can do different animations, when you win.
Right.
There should be one, because there's a certain body language where that they don't want to dispute the ball or strike or they're going to get ejected.
Right.
But there's kind of a hands on hip and they turn, they go and they say a few things oh, that was in?
Yeah.
Oh, really? They have that, where it's they're not going to say that's BS, but they're like, well,
right.
What? But I see you doing that where you're like,
oh yeah, 6 or 7 year old me was definitely hands on hip. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that was low.
I
thought that was low. No?
No. All right. I guess
Really?
I guess next time. All right.
That's a strike now? Okay, sounds good.
Well, speaking
I'll
of things
keep
that sound
future reference.
Speaking of things that sound good, we got some news. Woo! Goodness.
Woo!
We are in the newsroom, everybody, and it's so much news.
It's like that episode of It's Always Sunny with Pepe Sylvia. That's the mailroom we're in right now. That's the newsroom we're in. It's crazy. I'm talking to an imaginary guy next to me, and then no one sees him but me. It's that's where we're at with this toy news right now.
Yeah, this toy news is
beyond belief.
Insane. So much stuff. And if you're not sure what's been going on this past week, basically this is around the time when Toy Fair would normally have been happening. Toy Fair is the big toy convention sort of thing where it started off definitely as a where brands and corporations would get together and they would figure out what these are our products that are coming out. What do you want to buy? What deals?
A true a closed trade show.
Yes, trade show. That's what I was looking for.
That's how they all started. Like NAMM, right, which is a big one for music gear and instruments and stuff.
Right.
NAMM is a huge thing. Well, it was before the pandemic. Where now it's basically a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But it used to be Leo Fender would roll up there with some Fender guitars and be like, all right, boys, and sit in a smoky room with 5 guys and figure it all out, basically. Right. And that's what Toy Fair used to be. It was the same thing.
Right, but now
since
COVID, it's a Comic-Con light. They still do all that, but they've got a lot more. they've acknowledged that the internet's a thing, and that a lot of YouTube channels and Instagrammers and websites and stuff, those are all just as viable media as any other source. So in saying that, they did 2 interviews recently with two huge figureheads in the toy collecting community. One is Pixel Dan, great guy, check him out if you haven't seen him. And the other is the Fwoosh, which is a toy website / forum that's been around since forever, and it's amazing, and I frequent it all the time, and I love it. And so NECA had 2 different people being interviewed by both of those sources, and so we're gonna go through some of the stuff that they revealed that's coming out in the very near future, and some of it's actually out now as we speak. So there's a lot to cover, so buckle up, and I'm gonna see if we can get the images on the old screen, Ryan. Let's see. Let me turn the camera around over here. Let's see if we can spin that. Let's see. Here we go. Ooh, there we go. All right. So what we're looking at here, folks, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie ones. Like, we've seen these. Most of us already have these. However, if you look a little closer, there's something a little bit lighter about these, a little bit less violent and dark. And that's because these are the Secret of the Ooze versions of these figures. Now, this was revealed on Pixel Dan's website, on his YouTube channel, where he did an interview with Blaine from NECA Toys. And they were talking about how this 4-pack was something that most people figured would happen eventually, because they've been doing so many movie things. And they let out a little bit of information and basically showed a lot of the stuff that's coming with it, almost practically everything. And so we're going to run that down real quick. The first thing you'll notice, like I've already said, is that their faces and everything about them is a little bit brighter. Now, you would think that this is like just reuse and like a different head sculpt, pretty much. But according to them, they're saying that they've updated almost everything. I think it's actual minimal parts reuse, but nevertheless, this is going to be an online exclusive, NECAstore.com exclusive, that's supposed to be out sometime in the middle of March. And yeah, it's going to come in the VHS packaging. Now, the one that is, because I think this had a couple of different boxes, the VHS did, if I remember correctly, because I know there was the blue one with the turtles surrounding the ooze. I don't know if you remember that, but
I do.
But I remember that, but I don't know if that was a VHS. I remember that was the poster, because I have that. But the VHS definitely was the white box with the number 2, and the turtles are like popping out of it, kind of thing. That's the one it's going to come with. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it, because the only pictures I could find were ones that were in Turtle Soup show group on Facebook. So I think Robbie James posted those. So thank you, Robbie. And so that's what this is. And if you're thinking that you already got them and you don't need them, that's fine. And that's kind of where I'm at, to be honest. But the one thing that I thought was hilarious is they said that this is going to come with a bunch of accessories, Ryan. I know you're probably thinking the same thing. You're like, why do we need these? I can see on your face, Ryan. It's written all over it. You're like, this is boring. Why are we talking about this? Well, the one thing they talked about is that, and I never noticed that. I never really thought about it this way. But in the movie, you see the turtles like have a whole slice of pizza, and then they like cut out a frame, and then they don't have it. Like, it's almost like they've eaten it. It's just a bunch of crust.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the accessories that you're definitely going to get in this set, is a bunch of crust, just eaten pizza, which is interesting, because up until this point, I don't think we've seen actual bites out of a pizza. So it seems like a minor thing, but I don't know. I think it's kind of neat.
You don't have a problem.
No,
you're totally normal.
Yeah, totally normal. Totally normal. One thing I skipped ahead on the actual packaging, the insert is going to be the Rock Shore Club from the movie. So wherever they go, to see Vanilla Ice and stuff, that's amazing. That's that detail. That's that detail that NECA always brings. I love it. Again, the head sculpts are completely new, and the accessories, the pizza crust, like I said, they have the touchdown pizza like with the side that can go into it. So Raphael's holding it. It's gonna have the foam bat that Donatello runs around and beats people with. Donatello's actually this part is what got me. Donatello's coming with an actual like alternate forearm that's gonna have a flip open watch for whenever they're waiting on Toka and Razor, and he says about now. And yeah, So
pretty cool.
that's what the main 4-pack is coming with, and I think it's going to be a couple of other things. But they were like, we couldn't fit it all in one box, Ryan. They had to come up with another box, and that leads to an accessory pack. And there is just so much stuff in this thing. They've got the payphone that is actually one that you can hang on a wall. Like they got a nail hole in there. It's pretty neat. They've got all the stuff that the chips, the snacks, all the stuff when they're watching April on TV and they're eating and stuff, and all the stuff when they're cleaning. The picture kind of cuts off the mop, but they got the mop that Donatello runs around with and like kisses and stuff.
Yeah. That's
Awesome. And then like my favorite thing in the accessory set, which is like gonna be something really hard to like pass up on, and let's see if I can zoom in. So you got Raph looking a little too Raph over here with the duct tape on his face, on his mouth from when he's captured.
That's really good.
Yeah, and so they thought of everything, and that's what you can count on NECA for. But this is pretty awesome. Also comes with like pre-mutated versions of Toka and Razor, and that's pretty much all that's going to be in there. The TCI computer, a bunch of stuff. You just got to go check it out. Now, and again, that's on Pixel Dan's YouTube channel. It's a real quick interview. It's not very long. But then they teased that Kino is definitely coming. We know this. But they said that he will be delivering. That was the quote. Will be delivering. So what do you think?
Oh, maybe he's got his bike.
That's what I'm thinking.
Have his pizza delivery situation.
I think so too.
Dangerously close to a Crypt Keeper laugh, and if they have an alternate head where he is Crypt Keeper laughing, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to, because that's so good.
And honestly, I think at this point with Kino, I mean, I think you can live your raft dream. I think we can finally save you. If that Kino head can pop off, and you can put him on your raft, a little 2 raft, then you're going to live that dream. And
it happened. There you go. That's all that matters. As long as I can do that, that'll be good. So he's definitely coming. They also make reference to other characters that are still going to be coming out, but they can't really get into that. But more than likely, it's going to be Paige Taruko and could possibly be the scientist. I forget his name, but yeah. So
so Chad is super excited about the apron.
Oh yeah, the aprons. Yes.
And M. Wilson in particular is very excited about the keytar.
Oh yeah, the keytar. Yeah.
I would be very interested to see like the level of detail on it, but that is super cool.
It is
and
cool.
The luggage, and there's a lot of neat stuff in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, so the aprons, there's 2 aprons, and apparently, because I couldn't remember who was wearing what. I remember the pink one. I didn't remember the other one. I think Donnie wears the other one, the one that's just around the waist, but Mikey has the full-on apron. And so those are there. They have the Ninja Wrap newspaper for Splinter, and the wax on, wax off brushes and stuff. Yeah. So this is like everything you're gonna need. And yeah, so that's it from Pixel Dan's interview with Blaine from NECA. Now, moving on to what is going to be the bulk of our news segment, the Floosh got together with Trevor Zammit, which you might remember they did this in around December, where they were teasing some other stuff that we're going to be seeing some images of, and they got together with him. It's a lot longer, definitely worth your time because the Floosh is great, and it's just fun to hear all this stuff anyway. But we're going to talk about it. And the first thing they cover is cartoon, the NECA's cartoon line. And the first thing that they revealed is the Rock Soldier / Crooked Ninja Turtle gang member, Ryan, 2-pack. This is insane.
I know that we had a previous preview of the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang boy.
Yeah.
And that excited me. And yeah, so like obviously you guys know like the Rock Soldiers are from the first season of the animated series, and then the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang make their appearance in the first episode of season 2.
Yeah,
as a group backed by Shredder, led by your boy Smash.
Mm-hmm.
It was runs the
Slash for Cash. Yeah, Slash for Cash.
For Cash for. We made a perverted version of it on the show, and whenever someone says the real name, I'm always like, "Oh,
I forgot."
Because the one in my head is Slash for Cash, but I don't think I think it's Smash for Cash or something like that.
Goodness, I can't remember now.
Either way,
it's either way.
This is a pretty cool pack. You know what I'm saying? Because it does go back to the very beginning of the '87 animated series. I mean, it's all right there, even down to like the loosely like M16 ish assault rifles that they
Yeah.
carry. Very indicative of the animated series. They always did those kind of borderline, like that could be an M16 gun,
Oh
but
yeah.
it also shot lasers.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
And so that's pretty rad. I'm pretty excited about these things. Like it's just, I'm more excited about the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang, to be honest. Like that's where I'm really looking forward to it. But I love the fact that NECA did it in a way where you're army building these. Like it's like, okay, if you know, you're not just getting two of the same, so you have options and whatnot. Well, yeah, so the Rock Soldiers, they come with all the guns, and let me go back up because I didn't write this down. But yeah, they came with they're coming with two guns, like two rifles, gripping hand, like open hands and a trigger hand, fist, a rifle, or excuse me, a pistol, and some other stuff. And I think that's the weather, the weather. Yeah, I think it's coming with that, which is awesome. So that's fantastic.
That's pretty sick.
Then following that, or again, like we were saying, the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang member, fantastic. Now, these guys, like you said, they appeared in the second season of episode 1. Or wait, is that right? Yeah, second season, episode 1.
The first episode of season 2.
Thank you. They also appeared in the Archie comics. I forget where exactly, but they didn't have the bags on their head, if I'm not mistaken. So they didn't really sell the whole thing, the whole costume, like as they did.
That was back when Archie, I believe that was back when Archie was still not completely aping the animated series, but was kind of like taking some hints from the animated series. I think that's when they were in there. And I gotta say, sculpt looks really good here.
It does. It does.
It's hard. It's hard to make it look like the guy's wearing like a green shirt with like the padding on the front.
Yeah.
To make it look like some white dude wearing a shirt.
Right.
But they do a really good job with it. Honestly.
Excellent job.
It looks really good.
And so if you want to army build these, you can, and it'll look something sort of like this. Let me zoom out a little bit. And you'll have a little army, a little militia there of a bunch of wannabe turtles. But who's that guy in the middle, Ryan? Who's that? That looks like their leader.
That doggy in the window is Smash. That is the leader of the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang. And
yes.
So a fun fact about Smash from the show is that one thing he's kind of like known for in the animated series is that he was voiced by Peter Cullen himself.
Yeah.
So if you are looking into an Optimus Prime of characters Peter Cullen voiced, and I'm collecting that particular collection, you're
just
gonna
that one
to get
shelf.
Smash.
Yeah, you gotta get him.
But Smash was great. And I'm so glad they have him, because like originally we just saw the one Crooked Ninja Turtle gang skinny guy, and we were kind of like, all right, but like, where's Smash? And sure enough, they got him, and he is about as screen accurate as they come.
Oh yeah, he looks fantastic. And yeah, I'm so excited because they get so overlooked, the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang, and so I'm glad that they're fully represented here now. And but he's not alone, Ryan. He comes with another person that some people can take or leave him, and that's going to be Zach.
I can take him. Okay,
I'll take him. I think I will. He proved himself, especially considering some of the other characters we've seen in the animated series that just need to go to college, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah,
go off to the future and go to college and go die mad about it. Really, I mean, like, right? I mean,
exactly.
But Zach is important. Zach is the fifth turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're trying to bring the content. You know what I'm saying to y'all?
Yeah.
And Zach is one of those characters that, to be 100, is one of the very few characters in the animated series that has a lot of appearances. He was a borderline, like, kind of mainish side character for a hot minute.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
he's
was all over the place.
I want to say, like, he was in like 7 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
He has a storyline, actually, which is so rare for, like, non-Red Skies TAS, where he went from this kid who was causing trouble because he wanted to be a turtle to kind of being like officially adopted by the turtles to like kind of like you meet his older brother and he winds up getting in a lot of trouble and they have to bail him out, and then Zach kind of moves on and he does kind of follow like a storyline, which, like I said, is so rare for the animated series. So it's kind of it's a really good thing they made him.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, they
it's
had
not
to. Yeah.
surprising that they made it. I guess I was trying to say it's not surprising, but it is awesome. It is surprising to see it. 'Cause
Right.
we're living in an era where they're just making awesome figures of all these toys, of all these characters from the animated series, and you're like, okay. But
Yeah.
all I gotta say about those glasses he's wearing in that picture
Mm-hmm.
is he looks like that kid from the Burger King Kids Club, and
Yep.
you know exactly the one I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The leader.
The leader of that gang. Yes, absolutely. Now, yeah, he's in a 2-pack with Smash, and Smash comes with a bunch of weapons and different things.
Yeah.
He comes with a different unmasked head and some hands.
I'm a big fan of that.
And then Zach comes with another
How about
head.
Zach coming with the chrome dome head?
He comes with the chrome
That's
dome head.
sick.
Yeah, he comes with the
I
chrome
love
dome
that.
head, a backpack, a turtle com, a hockey stick, some other stuff, a diamond, which that is escaping me what that is from. But yeah,
So I know he appeared in Shredderville, which is one of my favorite episodes ever made.
that's the
of
one with
animated
the
series.
with where he has the harem, right? With April and Irma, they're in his harem. Yeah. I remember that.
No, it's one of the best episodes of the animated series, in my opinion, total.
Yeah.
But I love this thing right here with the chrome dome head. It's just so good.
It's so good. And the chrome dome head pops. You can replace the one you have with this one. They're interchangeable. But this one has the top that pops up. You could pop its top a little bit.
You can pop its top.
Yeah.
Are you hearing that, Farmer Greg? You can do
Yeah,
that.
Farmer Greg, you can pop it. And so Zach is coming with all kinds of cool stuff. So that's a really cool thing, and that's I think already on pre-order right now, which is what they're doing. They said they're doing a lot of these as 2-week open pre-orders, and then from then you'll eventually see them in the stores. Which, if you haven't noticed, they've been a lot more readily available because they're doing this. So they fixed a lot of the problems we were having early on.
Yeah.
But also, we don't know if Zach is if this figure is as ticklish as the animated series counterpart is, but that remains to be seen. Then moving on to one that I am so unbelievably excited for, Ryan. We have Yousagio Jimbo.
We got him, boys.
Yeah.
So previously, only seen as a digital render, a 3D digital render.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like, what? You know what I mean? But what we saw from the 3D render was awesome, and he is absolutely mind-blowing here. Yousagio Jimbo has appeared in pretty much every iteration of the TMNT you can imagine. I mean, we're talking classic Mirage. We're talking animated series. Just call it what you want. But yeah, he was created by Stan Sakai, and he does appear in TAS in 2 episodes.
Right.
Yousagio Jimbo and Usagi Come Home. Which it's really weird because they're like episodes 32 and 34 of the season 3 of the animated. But it's like there's like an episode in between. I'm very curious. It's probably like Leo becomes a farmer, and that's one of the ones I had to review. And I'm like, awesome! And you got to review both of the Usagi because that's how my luck was with the animated series. But the height, like the scale on him, so good.
Yeah,
like this is like they've done it.
They've done it. This is the best.
We did a retro. When we originally did we talked about the render on the news segment.
Right.
We went through and did a bit of a showcase of like Yousagio Jimbo through the years, like in Playmates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is in game.
Oh, absolutely. And
this is in game Yousagio Jimbo. You got it, boys. You know what I'm saying? Like we did it, and this is the definitive Yousagio Jimbo.
I think so. If not, I don't want to say that they can't improve. I would be hard pressed to see them improve on this because he looks just like he did in the animated series. Like that's exactly how he looked. Now, his look in the animated series was very much like his look in the comics, very similar.
Unlike his Playmates toy, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, totally different. Although I still appreciate that toy.
We appreciate all the old toys.
We do. We do. But
if we're going for like, oh man, I just saw this guy on the cartoon. Let me go buy the toy. Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he didn't look exactly like
Did not.
This is.
So,
like I said, this is kind of final form. I know it's a little off of the comic version, but it's as close to the comic as the cartoon got, which was
yeah.
I want to call it. What do you call it? 85% there, 90%.
I'd say 90%. I'd say 90. But I could be wrong. But if I'm wrong, guess what? NECA's probably going to be making a line of Usagi figures for his comic because there are other figures that are characters that have crossed over from both worlds, Turtles and Usagi. And I believe that they've talked with Stan, and there might be something in the future. Who knows? But I'm definitely here for it. And this figure is fantastic, for at least from what we're seeing. And he comes with so much stuff. He's got the hat and all these blades, and just looks awesome. Now, I don't remember. Actually, yeah, no, he does. I did write this down. So one of the first images that we saw of Usagi was this scene right here, which is the turtles in their lair, sitting on their couch, and they have the portable transporter device that was the MacGuffin for a lot of episodes.
Generator,
Thank you. Yes, and it actually has Usagi in it, like as if, I don't know. This thing looks. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. But it looks like you can. It might be a thing that has a compartment that you slide out from the top, the clear plastic thing. You put the figure in, you can slide it down, and it's transparent, so you can see him, but there's room to fit the figure in the back of it. And as if they're coming through. And I have a feeling they might be releasing this because this is too detailed for them not to release. Although nothing was really said about it that I recall, unless I missed that he said they were coming with it. But I don't think they did. Could be wrong. Double check me. Go listen to it. But nevertheless, it's here. So one way or another, I think we're going to get it. But the other things we're going to be getting with Yousagio Jimbo is this robe that we're seeing on screen that he wears. And it looks like it'll be soft goods as well. 2 heads, 2 sets of ears, and removable sheaths. And on top of that, this is going to be an Ultimate figure. And now that I've said that, I think that it's going to have to come with that because this figure is so small, or at least he's shorter. And those accessories, he's going to have to come with that portable thing because the Ultimate figure, not to be confused with Super 7's Ultimates figure, what NECA considers Ultimate are the ones that have the VHS box. Like it looks like a animated series tape box. Mm-hmm. So let me see. I think Muckman and the Chrome Dome and I think the Pizza Monsters all came like that. So that's where he's going to be. So I think he's going to come with that, Ryan. But that's Usagi, and I am super stoked for him.
Yeah, John Clemens in chat says with the black robe, he looks like Emperor Palpatine.
He does. Almost anyone in a black robe does. That's just a thing.
It's true.
So, sorry, that just got me. But
I love the portable portal generator is amazing looking.
It is. It looks fantastic.
I don't know. And Usagi, like, I mean, talk about promise of the premise. Like with that 3D render, we're like, oh, that's gonna be great. But then you look at the Paint app, and you're like, okay, like take me money.
Yeah, exactly. So, then they mentioned that the Neutrinos 3-pack will be coming out in March, so it's going to be having a pre-order. We saw that in a previous news segment. Then the set piece that we've been seeing, like all throughout here, let me see if I can find another shot of what they're talking about here. So, like the sewer-looking set, it has a sign in one of the pictures on a door that says, Turtle Van Garage, stay out. And there's no real reason for them to put that there unless they're actually going to be doing the Turtle Van. And that is something that the other people that have been making Turtles toys, Super 7, they've put out one, or at least they've got it for pre-order. And so NECA,
pretty wildly comprehensive one as well.
Oh,
So
it's pretty neat.
I mean, it looks like NECA's gonna have their work cut out for them to make theirs.
Oh yeah. And I have no doubt
that one.
NECA's proven they're going to definitely like nail it, and you're going to see all kinds of stuff in this thing. But the funny thing is that Super 7's, if you didn't know, is basing does their stuff off of the toy license. So Playmate stuff, they're just basically remaking those, but better or updated
for adult collectors. Yeah,
correct. And so where NECA has the cartoon stuff, so they're like kind of focused on that. And I think their task is a lot harder than Super 7's because Super 7 just had the whatever I have behind me, whichever shoulder it is over here, the Turtle Van. That's what it was. In the animated series, this thing changed so much that there's no telling how it's gonna like look on the inside. But nevertheless, it's gonna be fantastic. So I'm really excited about that. And at the end of the interview, they joke about not having enough space on the shelf for all this stuff, and how it'd be nice if NECA would put out something to kind of help alleviate that problem. Maybe something to like kind of bring it all together. And I was picking up on it to where it seems like they're going to be making arrangements to release this set, the sewer lair playset kind of deal.
Yeah.
As a NECA thing. And I am all about it because this looks fantastic from what they've been showing in these preview shots. So yeah, that's really exciting. Now, that's it for cartoon stuff. Now, moving on to the newly, well, not really announced, but like we haven't gotten any new figures physically in hand yet. So I guess it's still fresh. Regardless, Mirage, Ryan, they are going back to Mirage, and they are starting things off with the Fugitoid. Now, we saw him a while back, a tease of him, and on the back of the card thing that they released in December. And yeah, now we have him in the flesh. Well, in the you know, metal, I guess, the bendy metal. And yeah, I am super excited about this. This is fantastic. Like I am.
He looks as good as he did. We got some like more like kind of like you know, artful shots at first of him, and then we got a preview on the kind of the you know, collector's card kind of images like, you know, of the line. We got like a one shot of him, but here we definitely get a little bit more like pro photo angles of him in real space, like in situ,
right,
if you will. Just knocking it out of the park as far as like the God,
that paint,
the paint, the non-metallic metal, like idea.
It's
it
so
takes
good.
that black line style to like a whole nother level. And if in hand he's painted close to where this is, that is just ridiculously good.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. And even Trevor was saying that he was like really taken aback by like, and forgive me, I forget who the actual painter was that did this, but it's a technique that is just perfect for this figure. And so yeah, they've confirmed a couple of things. So first of all, he's going to be released very soon. He's going to have bendy arms and legs, and he's going to come with some accessories. I think I got a shot of one of them. He's got like a little iPad thing. Forgive me if I can't remember what that was, but then he's got a gun.
Well, it's a I believe it's a Triceraton.
Oh, the Triceraton thing, because the triangle. Yeah.
Because everything's a triangle. That blaster is a Triceraton blaster.
It is.
It's triangular as well.
Right. And so he's coming with that,
which
and
is
he's
in keeping with the adventures he got up to in the comics.
Absolutely, yeah, he was very much tied to them, and then he's also coming with, and I forget what this was actually called, but this gauntlet that Donatello is seen here with is it was from his one shot where he met Jack Kirby essentially. And he's got this gauntlet.
It's
thing.
like it's
was it gravity?
It's the gauntlet that Jack Kirby. Yeah, it's a gravity thing. That Jack Kirby gives him to help fight off like the all the various villains or the people that it's so much to get into.
It is
the people in the universe that Jack Kirby, where all of his drawings with his magic pencil went to.
Right.
So like the weird purgatory where all of like Jack Kirby's doodles went to like reign and destroy this other fictional normal medieval village. And he's got to take care of that because all of Jack Kirby's creations are in there. So he draws him a little arm cannon, and that looks so good.
Right.
Like it looks really good.
And so that's cool. And on top of this, they announced, and I took screenshots, but I don't have them. I can't. They're on my other computer. I forgot to bring them over. But they said that Kevin Eastman himself is going to be doing the box art for these Mirage figures, and that's really exciting. And they showed them in the Fwoosh interview, so you can check that out on YouTube. And it looked really neat, very cool. And yeah, you might be one. You might want to be one of those people that buy one to open and one to keep, in the box, because it just looks too good. And so, he is coming out pretty soon. And then they moved on to the Utroms. Now, this is definite like hardcore Mirage. So, like,
you gotta remember that, like, go ahead.
No. I was just stalling for you to actually say something.
I was letting you.
I know.
So Utroms is one of those things where I love them so much in Mirage, because they're not evil.
Yeah, no.
Like it's one of the first real like head scratchers you see when you start going through this journey where you're doing things chronologically, where you're like, why would they make like Krang a Utrom in the show? And he's like an evil warlord, genocidal maniac. Because the whole thing about Utroms is that when you first see them, you're like, okay, that's an actual scary villain guy. They're these little brain-looking squid boys who look just like that. It's so comic accurate that it's ridiculous. Like they look like they had jagged teeth and like a bunch of these little, like, instead of two little arms like Krang has, they have all these little like squid brainy legs, and they're not evil, and they are from the golden age of Mirage. Like they created the mutagen that transformed the turtles. They have the TCRI building story is so cool. How like basically
absolutely.
When they crash landed on Earth, they all got like day jobs, and they basically just lived like in the sewer until they could afford to buy a building, pooling all their resources. Like it's so cool, and it's so great to see them here, especially with some of the other stuff going on, the other accessories that make these really great.
Yeah. Yeah, so
that's so good.
Yeah, so the Utrom, you get the brain part, but you also get the body, the android body. And it comes with a destroyed face, like a battle damaged face. It's going to be coming with a blaster, and you can remove the Utrom from the torso or the stomach of the body. And it's got it looks like it crawled out of the pages. It's so good. And so I am very excited about that. Let's see. Then they posted one image here. Let me get ready for it. They posted one image of this, Ryan, and I can't remember. Yeah, you're right. I do. I'm playing. Casey Jones. Yeah. Gonna definitely be coming. And if you are just an animated series person and you didn't read the books, Casey is a drastically different character, from the animated series.
Mirage. Absolutely.
In Mirage. And not only that, he's a lot more integral to the story. So as a whole, like, and more so than the cartoon ever alluded to, because I think he only appeared in 2 or 3 episodes in the cartoon.
That needs to be 87. A segment on our monthly bonus show where you and I debate the worth of 87 animated series cases. I feel like that could get like that. That we go to the mat every time on that.
Oh, it could.
But yeah, like, I mean, Casey's the 5th turtle. Like in Mirage continuity, we just talked about Zach earlier. Word up. Casey appears in Raphael Micro number 1. It's the first, like, well, not the first micro, but it's getting there. Yeah. And that's all the way back in 85. I mean, like I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'll tell you this, NECA. I know that the stuff's already been made, so like you can't really change it. But if you could go into a time machine, I would say put out the American flag mask.
Oh,
coward.
Yeah, definitely. Once they get to, if they can do the image stuff, oh my goodness.
Because technically, I know we're on Mirage Story, but Body Count was made under Mirage.
That's true.
Issue 1 was published by Mirage. And all that art and all those concepts, I don't know how legally who published what, but I mean, or who, if they have access to it.
Yeah.
But that American flag mask was part of that story under Mirage,
right?
Before it went to Image. So,
and if they don't, I might have to get you to custom make them, and then you can just open up a side hustle that way doing that. But yeah, they teased him. He's going to come with 2 heads, 1 masked, 1 unmasked, and that's really all they really showed was this right here. But you mentioned going back in a time machine, Ryan, and
really
unfortunately,
fast, just before you hop into that, chat's worried about their money.
Chat's worried about their money. Oh, as they should be. They're
like. I think chat. I think everybody watching this now or live or in the future is like doing that thing, where you put your hand back and you just touch the edge of your wallet to make sure it's still in your pocket.
That it hadn't burned a hole.
Wallet check.
Yeah.
Everybody right now, like watching this video, is probably just everyone's all their hands sneaking down there and they're just like, wallet. Yep. It's still there.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because but that's a concern for chat.
It is. Understandably so. Well, speaking, you mentioned a time machine earlier, and unfortunately, we here at Turtle Soup, we haven't
going a time machine.
We don't have the funds to purchase one yet, but the Turtles actually know somebody who does have access to time machine abilities, to say the least. And that person is Renee. And this was one of the first things they actually released like images of before the interviews came out. And yeah, I was she's probably one of the last figures I would have thought would have been like one of the first in the line. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, absolutely. She's seen here in kind of I want to believe a bit of a mid appearance time for her.
mm-hmm.
She had like a longer kind of cloak, and it was more like over her, I want to believe, like in her literal first appearance.
Right.
But she appeared in other comics.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on when you pick her up, because when she appears in Mirage, she is a teenage apprentice to one Lord Simultaneous.
Right.
And she has on her the digital cosmic quartz that allows her to time travel.
Yes.
But she's a teenager and she's bored. So she takes the scepter of time for a little walk and winds up severely impacting the turtles, getting them into the Cerebus crossover, which is one of the better like Mirage Golden Era storylines. And then but she does appear later more mature, and that's the look I'm seeing from this. And this is just my interpretation. This Renee, I'm seeing her as she appeared later, a little more grown up and coming to the Turtles 8 again later in Mirage. Which I think is cool. I think that's a cool angle to take on it.
Oh, definitely.
Because in this form, she's in charge of her of her powers.
Right.
Like the first time, she's a little bit obnoxious, a little bit of a brat, and that's funny and cool. But here, she's like inherited the throne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the
like she's
the
graduated.
look of, like, power. Yeah, the look of power, especially in the face sculpt and in her bearing, it reminds me more of her later appearances.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is just too much. Like I love it. I know that somebody was questioning her color of her outfit. That I think that they were saying they couldn't place it. And I think someone in our Facebook group found an image that it might have been a reprint or something. But I thought
it was in color.
Yeah, right. And so, I'm not entirely sure, but as far as the costume, the aesthetics, like the clocks and everything like that, that's first appearance. Like it just, yeah, it's definitely there. Now she's coming with a wired cape, like a soft goods wired cape, which means it's bendy, so you can pose it. Also a time scepter, 2 heads, one helmeted and one unhelmeted, and Lord Simultaneous floating head, and that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that is incredibly important to the whole thing. Absolutely,
in my opinion. So what I'll say here, I'm gonna interject on what I think about the sculpt real fast.
Okay,
love the. Honestly, can you scroll back to the unhelmeted head, just the normal hair? I love that look. I know that's not like necessarily like iconically like how she's seen, because she's seen with the helmet, but I love the unhelmeted head. Hair's hard, and that hair looks good to me. Also, I'm just gonna put it here. I really enjoy the body type she has, because in the comic, she was definitely more like full figured. Like she, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like she was like a kind of like an X cup situation,
right?
Like her proportions were like totally unrealistic, and I really love. Part of her was the like revealing scoop kind of thing going on the chest. That's just part of the design,
right?
But like I like the fact that she does feel like more full figured and more like normal, like she appears in the comic, and I like that it comes through in the figure.
Oh,
she's
absolutely.
Not just like an X cup situation, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. And so I think again, NECA just knocked it out of the park. Like this is fantastic.
That Lord Simultaneous looks so mad.
He does.
And that's how mad he was in Mirage, guys. That's how mad he was. He was so damn mad. He was like, why do you have the digital cosmic quartz? And she's like, I am just actually, whoops, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It's really great.
And their stories are great. Like, go back and find her stories, because her stories with the turtles are always fun. And I believe she appears in other stuff, but it's, again, if you're just seeing the news here on our show, we do everything chronologically, and I think currently we're in 96. So, but everything we've seen so far, she's fantastic. And I always get excited
absolutely.
when I see that, that Renee's showing up. So, but speaking of like where we were at in the journey and like, you know, how we don't know about a lot of the current stuff, like we're not as up to breast as we say on the show, with a lot of current Turtles publications and things like that. One thing that is almost hard to like ignore for a while was IDW's The Last Ronin storyline. And they started putting out this storyline, I believe it was a year or two ago, I think. And it was just everywhere. And well, now NECA is putting out, if I'm not mistaken, this is their first IDW figure. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat,
for sure, but like, I mean,
I could be blanking, but if I'm not mistaken, this is their first IDW figure, and this is fantastic. Like, this is so cool, and I've read a little bit of it because we try to keep a lot of stuff for whenever we get to it in the journey on the show. Mm-hmm. But what I read, I loved, and it's basically, you know, just like this. It's like a Days of Future Past version of the Turtles, essentially. Like, it's a dystopian future story. And this figure looks just like how it's drawn on the pages. And the fact that NECA can do this to this much detail is beyond belief, in my opinion.
No, it's pretty great.
So, so let's see here. I
love the way he looks.
Yeah, he looks fantastic. And he's going to come with a ton of accessories. All kinds of stuff. Tonfas, nunchucks, asai, throwing stars, different hands, different head, you know, bow staff, katana, all that stuff, sheath, just the kit and caboodle, everything you need to be the last Ronin. And he looks so freaking cool. Well, again, this, you know, is from IDW, from the minds of Kevin, Peter, and Tom Waltz. And they mention in the interview working with Kevin and IDW as a new partnership. That's actually what they said. So I'm thinking that we're going to start seeing some of that. So if you were looking at your wallet before, you definitely are now. And they said that there might be one or two more Ronin figures in regards to a separate character that they would be making. And that was that as far as he goes. But now they also had a different version, which is a shirtless version. And I haven't read enough of the story to know why this is necessarily pertinent, but nevertheless, I mean, shirtless figure, shirtless turtle, you know, we all need it on our shelves. But he just looks great. And it's this is
hero in some half clothes.
Hero. And these are going to be in specialty shops. So, you know, like your comic shops and different things like that. So that is the last Ronin. Now, I don't have any pictures of this, but just to mention it, Playmates is also going to be issuing their own version of the last Ronin. And you can get it, I think, in a regular colorized version. And then they have a black and white version as well that they're going to be releasing in their own style. So that's that. And then now I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is, we got a couple more things trying to get through them. This is probably the thing that I'm mostly excited for, Ryan. And I think you'll share my excitement with this. NECA has officially started their Archie series of figures.
Here we go, boys.
Yeah. This,
okay. You know me, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, like, you're the collector. I play around. I got a couple. I got one in the mail one day. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag loot crate. Like, what the hell, bro? But anyway, you know, I'm not the big collector. You know what I'm saying? And you are.
Right.
That's all suffice to say. That I know I've been like, I don't know about that. I might have it. Like, but seriously, Archie is gonna get this money. I don't know how it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because you know we love that comic series.
Oh,
big fans on the show. And if you go back and check out our episodes on those are podcast only, so or audio only. You might have to go over to Apple Music or whatever to check those out. But if you go back to those reviews, that wound up being like one of our favorite comic series or anything we've done on this journey.
Absolutely.
And the fact that like we're opening up here with these Archies
it's exciting. It's exciting.
Know, man. I'm excited. Like, and so you get Slash
You get
Like,
Slash. So Slash is going to come with, well, real quick, backing up. Archie is going to be in specialty stores as well, and Kitch Matroni, Kin Mitroni. I was saying Kitch Matroni. Kin Mitroni is going to be doing the box art, and they should be out. Slash at least should be out before the end of the year. Multiple hands, crooked sword blade, the vintage weapon, bladed weapon with the hook thing. I think. Let me see the one right there on the bottom right. That thing. Yeah. That's what he's coming with, and yeah, he looks mad as hell and so good.
Great.
Now,
he's so great, and he really is a nice stand-in for your animated series Slash as well. Like, I feel like he, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
that's too good.
I like the animated series Slash, but this one is more like what this is like a combination of both of them essentially. The Playmates version and the animated series version. That's kind of the middle ground.
They got his pupilless eyes right.
Yeah,
how he always has a little of that like Dwayne the Rock Johnson like little like going on there. He's got right. some of that kind of always kicking. And the thing about him he's often shown this way, but I feel like in Archie it really comes through. He is broken.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Slash is broken.
Yeah.
I love his treatment in IDW. I love and normally he is kind of broken, but in the animated series, it's like, well, everyone's kind of weird. It's funny, right? Yeah. But like you see an animated series that like he. Or in Archie, you see that he's broken, and he looks broken there. It looks like just in the sculpt. I love it in the paint app. It feels like you're not going to reason with this guy. Like, I love it.
Yeah. To your point, it's like Archie. When you say he's broken, there's a lot more like nuance to it. The animated series saw that, and they were like, "Oh, he's slow, okay." And they kind of, and it's also the '90s, so like they're running with a little bit more of that. And it's a little like it's very different, and this version
in Archie you get into his backstory and realize like why he is like he is.
Oh, and
he has a pathos in Archie, which is really good
and integral to some of the major events that happen in Archie. So go read Archie. It's amazing. Well, speaking of disparages or differences with the animated series and Archie and other iterations of the character, Ray Fillet Man Ray is seen here now that NECA is going to be making, and this is fantastic because the animated series version of Man Ray is not good. It is just garbage, essentially. Yes,
Man Ray is garbage.
Yeah, so I very highly doubt that they're ever going to make him. If they do, it's going to be like a joke because nobody seems to like him. But the Archie version of Man Ray is fantastic. And so,
and he's in early. He is, if I'm not mistaken, he is in the first issue that is not them aping the animated series.
Right.
Like they literally come in like, hey, this is original Archie. Hope you like it. Ray Fillet.
Yep.
Like he's there. And he dates back to 1989, guys.
Yeah.
Like you got like in Archie, you got to go back to that. Like that is like OG. Like Turtles cast guy. And of course he winds up becoming a member and frankly the de facto leader of the Mighty Mutanimals.
Yeah, arguably so.
And arguably. Like they don't ever name a leader in the Mighty Mutanimals, but like he's the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
And there's someone that
let me go back. There's actually two people standing next to him. Two characters, I should say. And this is Ryan's holding his mouth because we on the show, when we were reviewing the issues that this character shows up in, it was gut-wrenching, to say the least. This character we're talking about is Blubla the Glublub. And this character...
Rip, man.
Yeah. Like, just something happens to this character.
I'm going to tell you about this. I have never been so gutted. I mean, I'm emotionally gutted.
Like a fish.
By a little fish boy being shot underwater with an actual gun. I have never felt the pain. It's so good. It's so great. And now, is he a pack along here?
He is. So he will be coming with.
God, that's so good. Oh my God, that is so good that he would pack him along. That is so smart.
And if I'm not mistaken,
oh my God,
he is his actual character in general was based on the toy of Ray Fillet, who had a pack-in character like they did with the Playmates figures. And I believe that's where the character was designed from.
He had a pack-in, but to my memory, if I remember correctly, the pack-in was like another sea friend. It wasn't like,
it looked very similar to him, like close enough to where it's if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
no, I mean in the fact that he was an aquatic pack-along buddy, but he was not Bubba the Gublub. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's that's what I said was that he was in. So whichever one came first was influenced by the other. It was like somehow they were. It was the same idea or a similar idea. So So he is coming with him, and then there's also this turtle down at the bottom, and I've seen this turtle. I just can't place this turtle, and I didn't have time to look it up as much as I wanted to.
Oh no, no, he's no. I'm not gonna on page 13.
Right.
But I believe that. So the whole thing about the plot line in Archie that gets Kid Terra, who is this kind of like gun for hire, kind of character that works for a Ferris, like guy in the comic,
right?
The storyline that gets Kid Terra and Man Ray and Bubba all together, involves these sea turtles.
That's what it was.
That are being maligned, like they're being caught in nets, and there's like toxic waste on the floor. I think the whole thing is that he goes there to save these sea turtles. When he gets down to the ocean floor, Man Ray discovers that there's all this toxic waste on the floor, and that Bubba and his people, the Gublub, are getting like wrecked.
Right.
And and they actually show like that their people are ill and dying. Like it's an ongoing crisis. And that this pisses your boy Man Ray off to a degree. Like
he looks like this.
That he can't. Yes, like that. Honestly, to that level.
Yeah.
Where he has to like wreak unholy vengeance, and the turtles aren't comfortable with it.
Right.
Like, the people around him are like, "Bro, that's some murder shit," and he's like, "Well, you know what I'm saying."
Yeah.
So I think the sea turtle is a
callback to that.
Is a nod to that whole storyline, which is
absolutely fantastic.
So good. Really fast on chat. We've got M. Wilson says that I'm wearing a Ray Fillet. Basically, I'm wearing a hat for him.
That's true.
And that's true. And then Noah says that I'm a straight up Man Ray's fan.
There you go.
Proves it.
The hat proves it.
The hat proves it. But yeah, I like the inking style, like the black lining on all the little his scales on the chest and on the arms. Like, come on,
it's fantastic. Yeah, this is just so good.
It's really good.
Yeah. So then we move on to two other characters from the Mighty Mutanimals, and that is Jaguar and Dreadman. And this is the first time that these characters have ever seen figure form, if I'm not mistaken. And this is wild because
can I do it for Jaguar real fast?
You can do it for Jaguar. Let's do it.
For Chico Mendes!
Yeah. There you go. That's an old school callback to all the Turtle Soup fans that have been watching or listening when we were covering that. Did that get you? That took it out of you? Oh man.
I mean, I
gave it to
Chico.
Chico. That. You did.
It was that one was for Chico Mendes.
Exactly.
Like, me too. You know what I'm saying? I went in for Chico Mendes.
Well, I'm definitely going to be going in for these figures because these look fantastic. Now these are early prototypes still. So they're a little rough, but they still look great. Like what's there is fantastic. They're going to be a 2-pack. I think he said they're going to be the third and fourth released figures from the Archie Wave or line. And so let's see. Jaguar is going to come with 2 different heads, a campfire accessory, speared fish, and a bowl of rotten fruit. Dreadman is going to come with something like some other accessories, peeled bananas, and then he's going to have a feature that's similar to the Muckman that they released that has the eyes that slot out for different expressions, which is something that a lot of Yeah, a lot of import figures, like anime figures and stuff from like Figma and stuff, they can do that. And I believe the disguised turtles can also do that, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
But you can mix
So
and
that
match
is one thing that
expressions.
chat brings up that came up in the Facebook group as well. And by the way, if you haven't been on there, Turtle Soup Show Facebook group. You know what I'm saying? This is where we share this stuff first and everybody gets in on it. We don't share it. Our awesome listeners share it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No.
M says, I still love that they look surprised to be figures.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Francisco says, mi madre. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like, I mean, he's
Dang.
striking the deep chords. They do look surprised. They're like, what? Whoa. Like, it's almost like it's almost like they found actual, like, Jaguar and Dreadman.
Right.
Like in the jungle, like fighting for Chico Mendes. And they were like, we're going to make you into action figures, man. By the way, it's 2022.
Right.
And
Yeah. And they're like, what?
And then they take a picture and then they run away and they're like, no, wait, Mon, come back.
Right,
and he's like chasing them like, no, that was a bad angle.
Right.
And I don't mean to say that they look bad.
No.
They look very surprised. This is also just one flat picture, just one flat angle on these guys. I do like that the eyes can change out or that things can happen to change the expression, especially with Dreadmon.
Oh,
because Dreadmon and Jaguar both, I think part of the things I love so much about them in the comics is that when the turtles first meet them, they are menacing as hell.
Yeah.
Like they are drawn and illustrated as like, oh, you guys found another villain. Like you guys found another like thing that's gonna fight you.
Right.
Then they get to the humanity behind them and they're like, oh wow, okay, and they want to be in like really goofy, fun, really, really loyal characters.
Right.
Mutanimals.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. Mutanimals. Yeah, it's the thing about Archie comics is that at least for us back in the day, if you saw something Adventures anything that had a property that was, like related to it, you like X-Men Adventures or whatever, you were like, oh, this is just going to be some drivel that's just to make money. And Archie started off that way, but then by issue 5, they're like, nope, here's this roller coaster ride that's probably some of the best Turtle stories you're ever going to read. And they continue, Ryan. We don't have any more images, but they tease that they're probably going to be releasing the wrestling suits for the Turtles, and especially Raphael in his black costume, which is fantastic. Yeah, can't wait for that. Now, they joked about Cuddly. Now, Cuddly is probably my favorite TMNT character of all time. If you don't know who Cuddly is, he's they are a disembodied cow head that is transdimensional and that puts characters in its mouth and then can carry them across space and time and all this stuff. He's
exactly
fantastic character and just I loved it so much. I still do.
He's amazing.
So they joked about him, Ryan, and they teased that they obviously know about him. They mentioned possibly making him a carrying case for the figures. So I could very easily see NECA putting out the Stump and Sticks Intergalactic Wrestling Federation like set with either the 4 turtles in their wrestling gear or like Crying Hound or one of the other characters like that. And
not Crying Hound.
I know, right? I know.
Oh God,
I know. And so, but the other thing they joked about is that they were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you made it to where you could mount Cuddly on the wall? Like, like an animal head, like you would if you hunted or whatever. And and I'm like, that is fantastic. Take all my money now. Here's the fry. Take my money. Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you this. If they made Cuddly's head, the size of like an actual like deer like head that you would put on the wall, and they made it wall mountable, that is going to cause more divorces in this country than almost anything.
Oh, absolutely.
I am imagining the level of pure on like toy collector spouse going like, yeah, and I'm thinking right there, and the other spouse going, never.
Yeah, no.
And just like the line being drawn
that's
right
it.
there.
That's it. The disembodied cow head.
You better have yourself. You know what? I don't even want to call it a man cave because everybody could be a nerd. If you got yourself a nerd cave, maybe like you could do that. But I tell you right now, like that's gonna cause some trouble.
It is. It's definitely gonna cause some serious conversations. You're gonna have to pick your battles with that one. But I am so excited about that. I can't wait. So so moving along, we've only got 2 more big things to talk about. This next thing is really rad. And my pictures are out of order because I couldn't name them right. So let me go back up. So, or if I can find it. Oh, I don't know if I can find it. Let's see. Oh, I found it. Here we go. So we've been talking about the Universal Monsters, NECA's Universal Monsters with crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We've already seen Leonardo as Igor, and we've seen Raphael, who's actually out now, I believe, as Frankenstein's monster. Well, Ryan.
Yeah.
Now we got Mikey.
Yeah. Not only did we see Mikey the pictures, but we also got another one of those really good stop animation.
Oh, we did.
Kind of previews from NECA, like, you know what I mean?
Yep. And it's pretty rad.
It's actually super cool. So let me tell you how this one hit me.
Okay.
So I saw the stop animation first, right? And it was the head that is not attached to the body in the photo. It was what's shown as the alternate head here.
Right.
Was what they were running around with.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta admit, I was like, he looks like those pictures of those dissolving like TMNT 1 and TMNT 2 heads. Like that's what he looks like. Like, yeah. But I kind of went, I don't know about that head. Because he looks a little goofy, and I don't know about that.
He does.
And then the last shot is him with this head, and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah."
Like I kind of went like 60 Midnight on that. I was like, that's what's up, because I love the nod to that like rotting animatronic head thing that's been going around.
Yeah,
but I also wanted something a little more in keeping with the Universal Monsters look they've been doing, which is pretty horror. It's pretty on the nose. It's not goofy, really. Like, they're not doing the goofies. So I was a big fan that they really included. And it turns out that's the head that we got that little baby preview of at the very first. Do you remember that? Where it was like almost like grayscale.
Yeah.
It looked dusty. And that was the head sculpt.
It was on the side of the box.
I'm glad that yes. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, this is great. And yeah, they again, fantastic job. Only complaint is they didn't wait, no. I'm thinking about Mikey when he was the Invisible Man when Playmates did it. But the Invisible Man had wraps around him too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm getting him crossed up with.
It was clear acrylic and then like painted over where the wraps would be up.
Right, that's what I was getting crossed up on, because that clear acrylic, 6 to Midnight on that. But yeah, this figure looks fantastic. He's got the onks as nunchucks. Like that's just so cool. And
how awesome is that?
He's coming with like the head that you mentioned, and then he's got a bendy snake right here and some extra wraps. And yeah, he looks fantastic. Now I've got a shot with him and the other turtles that have been released, and yeah, they look pretty stellar together.
Why don't we go ahead and zoom in on Leo?
Okay, let's see.
As Igor?
Yeah.
Because this is another first look for the show where we've gotten a good look at his face.
Yeah, this angle, especially.
That is 100% not the sculpt we saw before. Like, that is 100%.
It's one of the
sculpt. That is different.
We saw
the original.
Had
they have different heads.
Yeah.
Okay, so I much prefer this.
Absolutely.
This is like, thank you, NECA, I guess, for fixing it before it was a problem. Back when you were designing, because that head is what's up. The Billy Goes Gruff, get out of here, in my opinion. The other head,
you're talking about.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about the one on the side of the box that had more of the hair, like that was like a render. Yeah,
and the goof, and the like one eye was like ultra goofy and like odd, and like I just didn't like it. It was too much of a comical look. This is more what I'm looking for.
Right.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And yeah, that Mikey is just that's so
great.
neat. And then next to you get your boy Raph, and yeah, those
and hey, how about Raph standing taller?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Do you see the progression?
Oh, absolutely.
See, I love that within the scale, giving yourself a little bit of height difference, because with the platform boots and the squared off head, he's going to be taller. Then you go to Mikey and then scroll over to Igor, like your boy Igor. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of humping it over there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? His head's gonna come to a even lower level.
Absolutely.
That's awesome scale, and it's one of those things that's something that they're able to do now that's so much different than like the way toys were before, where it's like, it's 6 inches.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, and
Like,
everything's
and
the
you
same.
kind of had
Yeah.
to deal, but the
Yeah.
proportions. Just look how svelte Mikey is as the mummy. And
Yeah.
then go back over to Igor again, and look how like heavy built he is.
Oh yeah.
That's just awesome.
It is.
Like
Yeah.
that makes them feel like the monsters. It doesn't feel like they're all the same turtle, but they look a little different.
Yeah,
I love that.
It definitely doesn't, because we're so used to back in the day. Like they did have some variations in a lot of especially these crossovers, but there's still this like underlying thing where we've had like just palette swaps of just like, oh, this is just a different color or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I don't know.
And when Playmates was doing it, and I understand you're making kids toys for like what, $5 MSRP at the day. Like I understand, like it's what's happening. They were Playmates molds. Like it felt like they were like, okay, a turtle's body is X dimensions, a turtle's legs and arms are X, and a turtle's head is X. Inside that frame, you can play with like the sculpt if you want, right? We can do Frankenstein. We can do, I mean, once again, we were just praising love all over the Invisible Man, Mikey, which is a beautiful figure.
Oh, absolutely.
But it felt like you got to play in this ballpark, and you can't be smaller than it, and you can't be bigger than it. So enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Here, it just shows a whole different design philosophy, and of course, it's a higher price point figure. It's also the year of our Lord 2022, and digital sculpting.
Yeah.
Like hello, like you know what I mean. Like they're able to do more within that area. So
totally.
I'm a big fan. We're waiting for that last one.
Yeah. So
Waiting for that.
And we have no idea about Donnie. We don't know what he's going to be, but we did get the tease that
we don't know.
We did get the tease that it appears that it's going to be Judith Hogue April as Bride of Frankenstein.
I thought that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that was the fourth one. I thought they had talked about doing 4, and we know that April, and we don't know, but it's wink wink, it's Judith Hogue, but we don't know that. I thought that was like this block, and then they were going right onto another block that may include more, where you may get a Donnie in that.
That's my understanding. That's my understanding. I think that
the old SKUs, there were 4 SKUs in the original SKU leak from Target.
Oh, I thought there was only 3. I remember there only being 3, but on the back of on the side of the box of Raphael, there's 4 pictures, and
there's
one of
4
them,
pictures.
and one of them is definitely
it was
Bride
3.
of Frankenstein, and then I'm pretty sure it's definitely going to be Judith Hogue from the interview. That's
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because that was one of the big things that kind of blew my mind with the interview that they did with the Floosh. I'm pretty sure it was the Floosh again previously, where they were like, oh no, this is like movie turtles with Universal movie monsters. And I'm like, that's something I didn't think about.
That's an important distinction. That's
It
where
is.
they said like these are based off of the movie Turtles line, which doesn't mean anything except for Judith Hogue. Like, or for any like actor character.
Precisely.
Like,
that's the big thing.
Their actor. That's the real thing it means.
Right. So it limits the pool that they can choose from. Because, and then to your point that you were talking about the next block, that's where Donatello is going to show up. And they said that they might have another block after that, but that's a stretch, and they're not sure if that's going to happen. But it's potential. Yeah. But definitely the second block is going to happen with Donatello. So yeah, there's these are really exciting to be having in our collection. Or at least I'm excited to have it. I've got Raph on pre-order, just waiting to come to me. But I know some people have had him and said that he's great and a lot of cool stuff about him. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Now we're going to be going into a little bit of speculation, Ryan. And I know you're not the biggest fan of the speculation zone, but I wanted to. I can come and go, and I can be there too. I'm like, yeah, what's the point? But this is fun because I really want this to be the case. I really want this to happen. So Target and NECA are going to be having this collab where they're doing something in March, but I think in the middle of March. It's going to be called Haulathon, and essentially it's going to be this thing where it's going to be 2 or 4 weeks or something like that of just like an online collector event where they're going to have like special releases, and they're going to have like signed things that they're going to be not auctioning, but having for pre-order and whatnot, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of interesting things with the different lines. I think NECA's the main partner with it, but some other people might be involved as well. Nevertheless, the most important takeaway is that Kevin Eastman, who you see on the screen right here in a very stretched out version, was made a promo for the Holothon. And I'm getting this news from toynewseye.com, who's a credible toy news website. And they posted this, and they had said that Kevin did this short promo video, and in the background you can see 2 sets of NECA cartoon turtle sets. Now they've in the picture they've drawn arrows to both sets that are in the background. Now this video is like super quick. It's I think it might even be 30 seconds, if that. And
back and to the left, back and to the left.
Yeah.
That's how you're breaking this thing down.
Pretty much. So
that's M. Wilson in the chat, by the way.
Oh, okay. So the first thing is the turtle set. Now we see this here. They talked about, NECA's mentioned that they want to keep the turtles in the line. It makes sense. Every toy line does this. If it's Marvel Legends, you got Iron Man and Wolverine and stuff like that, and different Avengers constantly coming up, different costumes, which is makes a lot more sense. But Masters of the Universe has He-Man and whatnot. So the turtles, they're definitely going to have their just regular versions. They got a couple different color decos they can do, and decos, that's the word I was trying to say. And they had mentioned this. That's possibly what this is, but that's not the big news, Ryan. That's just, we assumed as much. The big takeaway is this thing right here. So robotic Bebop and Rocksteady, Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady. This kind of resembles that set, because they look bigger. I know it's blurry. The image is very blurry because it's in the background, but this is a possibility that now NECA's making everything, so they're definitely going to have these coming out. Like, this is not a thing that's just one day or like it far off possibility. Like, it is a for certain fact that they're pretty much going to cover everything in the cartoon. And so these figures in this blurry image definitely do look like the appearances of Bebop and Rocksteady in the episode titled Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady from season 3, episode 27, October 1989. And I'm super excited about these, if this is what it is. Now, at first I was like, I don't know about that, but Rocksteady just looks too bulky, like a lot more bulkier than he should in this blurry image. Yeah. And some of the color palette looks a little grayer than they should be in their normal skin tones. And the biggest thing is that there's this hard line across his chest that or where his stomach should be, like where his stomach starts, or his gut should be. And that's what kind of has given me like the girth of the figure, as well as that's kind of making me lean a little bit more towards this might be actually what that is. And if that's the case, I am super excited, because Playmates put out metallic robotic versions of Bebop and Rocksteady, and those are some of the most beautiful figures from that line.
Oh, they're pretty great.
That we've ever seen, and like huge fans of that. And so that's just a little bit of speculation, but I am like eagerly anticipating them when NECA does it. If these aren't them, they're eventually going to do them. But I hope sooner rather than later, of course. But it would be really neat to see at the NECA Holocon. That sounds a holothon. Holocon sounds like something else that's really horrible. But holothon, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully,
never again.
Never again. So hopefully this is what this will come to fruition, and it won't be a nightmare to get. But this is what is on the horizon, hopefully, and I'm fingers crossed, everybody. But again, this is speculation. So, and that's the news for this toy fair. Like quick little toy fair segment. Quick, I said quick. Yeah,
quick.
No. Like hour and a half.
You just said quick.
Yeah,
the words came out of your mouth.
It did. It did.
Yeah, obviously that is a massive kind of drop as far as like toy news goes.
Yes.
I gotta say, I might have to be in your ear about. I mean, you might have to show me the ways, Senpai, about how to get pre-order and how to win the click contest or whatever I got to do. Get mad die mad about it like everybody else trying to get these Archie figures.
Yeah,
because like I feel like once I start, once I pop, I'm not going to stop. Like,
it's true. It's dangerous.
I need to have the Archie guys. Yeah. I love everything NECA does almost. I mean, I can't think of a figure NECA made I'm not a fan of except for maybe April with those weird knees.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. But somebody in chat pointed out that that unfortunately Renee, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of knee action. With the flesh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky.
For some reason, to me, it's not as bad.
It's not as bad. It's
April.
not.
But like I love it, pretty much everything they've done with very few exceptions. But like to me, like Archie's where my heart is. Like, those figures and the fact that they're making them, like I want to do my part to support it. They're rolling out big time. I'm just trying to think of the figures they may make. Like we've only gotten a splash in the pan. You've got Mondo Gecko.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You're gonna need to get your Archie Armagon, which is Armagon Prime.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Like we already have Armagon figures and they're beautiful because video game and stuff like that. We've got that going, okay? But Armagon, I can't even start to name some of the characters that I'm ultra excited about. You've got
Alfalfa.
Yes. I mean, no, you've got Ninjara, bro. Like,
Ninjara.
I mean, like
even
there
April.
are figures that are going to need to happen.
Yeah.
Like you've got I mean, the mind boggles. Like the more these characters just start coming out in my head about like and I'm just like, this is like amazing. So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Splinter from the line.
April.
You know that Splinter,
dude, April with that
like,
jacket.
April from the line. Oh, the red hair, the jacket, like coming with that Ninjato, like learning her way. Chushi, the warrior dragon.
Oh,
like
Yuki?
imagine what they can do with him.
Oh yeah. Tons of people.
It is massively awesome. So the Archie stuff and everything here is great. The Archie stuff is really taking me.
Yeah,
like that's
absolutely.
the fact that you could just have a Mighty Muchanimal set is a real life thing.
Yeah, yeah. And we got the IDW stuff that they've announced that they're going to basically have a new partnership with them. So that's a whole other door that's opening up.
Oh, that is a whole nother door.
Yeah, it's just that. And the fact that it's funny because we're in a time now where I remember when Masters of the Universe was Classics was coming out. And there was this thing where like it felt as if we had to inform Mattel sometimes of what figures to make as fans, because it seemed like Mattel, like some of the people knew, but they didn't know how important those characters were, or something like that. There was a disconnect. And here with NECA now, in the time that we're in now, in toy collecting, it feels like they are almost informing the fans to a point where they're like, remember this obscure thing? You forgot about this. You can be the most diehard turtletarian there is, and you don't know what this is, or you know what I'm saying? And that's what it feels like. And it's fun to be in this situation now where it's like I can sit back and enjoy this without feeling like I have to do homework to try to like get on some message boards and do some like keyboard stuff to like let them know. And it's very exciting to be able to relax and trust that there's a toy company that is going to take care of us and do it the right way. And
what I'll say is this. When we started our podcast, okay, this is like 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, we start the podcast. We start reading Mirage. And at the time, NECA had done that little kiss, that sweet little kiss. Of Mirage toys, and they were being bootlegged to hell because they weren't in production. And then we started reading Adventures. Laying back in the chair, saying, "You know, it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
If NECA, okay, check this out. So NECA makes every character in Adventures, and they look awesome. And it looks like those bootleg NECAs you got on the shelf, and they look great. Yeah. And you laugh and go, yeah, sure, man. Like, why don't they make? I don't know. Why don't they make figures of us while they're at it? You know what I mean? Like that was really the feeling. Like if you would have suggested that we'd be seeing this in 2012, 10 years ago, that's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah,
and
totally.
Just now far-fetched. We are just covering the Toy Fair reveal in the future of 2022 and saying like, oh no, like, okay, so it's not just a nod to like one character from Adventures. They're moving in
Right.
to Archie Adventures.
Yeah.
Like they're doing more Mirage. Like you've got probably, I mean, I don't know if people, in my opinion, the best Yousagio Jimbo character, like figure just
Right.
going.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just happening right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's a great time.
It is.
But that's kind of what's been hitting me over the head this entire like segment. I've just been like, 2012, I would have been like, yeah. Why don't they make a figure of me with my favorite guitar too while we're at it? Like that's how stupid it felt to say that. And now here NECA is in the full swing, and it's just like ridiculous.
It is.
Like how much has changed?
Absolutely.
In that time.
Well, let us know what you think about these. Are you excited about them as much as we are? Are you gonna buy a mountable, cuddly carrying case for your figures? And if so,
would you get a divorce over it?
Yeah,
if it hung on the wall.
Exactly.
And it was like, and spouse goes, and you go, well, you're in our future, and you grab your thing and you pack. You just get
in Cuddly's mouth.
You pack your figures in Cuddly's mouth.
Yeah.
And wear it like a little baby backpack.
Oh yeah.
And then you just have a pile of clothes. Like you could have put your clothes in there, but no. But that's where your NECA stuff goes.
That's where your NECA stuff
goes. And now
goes.
you're going to carry a pile, and you just walk out of the house into the sunset.
And
Is
when
that
you
what
walk
you're
out,
do over Cuddly?
and when you walk out, you can't say anything. You just have to whistle, because that's what Cuddly does. He just whistles.
No. You say else time, Eric.
Oh,
that's what you say on the way out.
He does say
That's
else
Cuddly.
time.
Like, let's be honest. He's the guy who started. You walk out and your spouse is screaming like, "Oh, all the years you're gonna walk out." You turn around, you just calmly go, "Else time."
Else time. Yep.
And you peace out. You know
and
what
then
I'm saying?
you could whistle. After that.
If you're gonna be army building, some crooked Ninja Turtles gang. You know what I'm saying? Not only tell us, but like send us pictures afterwards. I want to see a bunch of those guys together.
Absolutely.
All that stuff. Let us know. turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You can always email us. And we're live every week on YouTube, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So come check us out and go visit our YouTube page where we have so many more videos just like
we
this
do.
one.
So there you go. Well, as Cuddly does say, we're going to say it too. Else time.
Else time.
Woo. All right. Goodness.
That was the longest segment in the history of the show.
It was pretty long, but it was worth it. It was a ton of stuff.
An hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a ton of news covered though. The Archie stuff kind of knocked me on my ass. I saw Jaguar and Dreadman in the group, and I like fell over at the house, and then I got back up, and no one was the wiser.
Yeah.
But I intentionally stayed away from a lot of that because I wanted to kind of have it brought at me.
Right. Yeah, and it was great. And I don't know. I'm really happy about it. So
it was killing me in the chat. M kept saying back and to the left, and then he kept going enhance.
Right.
And when you were zooming it out, enhance. Like that was killing me. I'm all about that. So somebody in the chat helped me because I had like a problem. Okay, so I know that Super Bebop and Mighty Rock, or Super Rocksteady and Mighty Bebop are the robot versions of them that Shredder makes, like to like oh yeah, like let's attract you with these guys and we'll go do our shit.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of Bebop and Rocksteady when they actually tried to be superheroes?
Yeah, see,
and they wore the capes.
That's what I got confused on too.
I thought that was Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady.
Right.
So like Midge, if you're still in the chat or anybody, I feel like Midge is a go-to, but like anybody that remembers, what are the names of what do they call themselves in the cartoon? Because I want those kind of figures because in my opinion, that was an episode that was very important in the animated series to me because I realized we had that whole conversation about how they're actually better at fighting crime than the Turtles are.
Yep.
And how that was a very important moment.
Oh yeah.
That we got a window into a world where if Bebop and Rocksteady were good, they'd just be a two-man wrecking crew.
Yeah.
And the Turtles would be very inept.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
They'd be put out of business. You know what I'm saying? By Bebop and Rocksteady if they were superheroes.
Exactly.
So hit us up in the chat. Let me know because I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
what they called themselves. I swore it was Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady, but
that confused me too.
Some way, but I don't know.
But from what I could tell, because when I first read it, I was like, that don't seem right, and I double checked, and I saw it again, and I was like, all right,
I googled it. I double checked it while you were doing this segment.
Yeah, because I saw your face, and I was like, yeah, no, it's
It is super Rocksteady Mighty Bebop, and like if you Google that, you get the robot versions,
Yeah.
and I completely remember it when I see it. So you're dead on. But there is a version of them where they wore the capes and they were literally trying to be superheroes, and it was like a smoke screen to like make the turtles look bad or whatever. But like when they were doing it, they were actually really good at it. And we were like, oh yeah, they stopped a bank robbery because they just rope-a-dope that guy and they punched that dude.
Yeah.
And then it was over.
Yeah.
The turtles would have been like, oh, who turned out the lights? It would have been a whole production. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I totally remember that.
Yeah, and Bebop, and I remember Bebop and Rocksteady in the cartoon were literally like going like site to site. They had like jetpacks or something that made them fly or something, and they were literally like boom, 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 like just knocking out crime like left and right. And the turtles were like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like the whole time.
Yeah, it was. I remember that. So, oh goodness. Well,
Rhino Man and Mighty Hog. Rhino Man.
Is that
and Mighty Hog? I think that's it.
That does
like they had different superhero names. They didn't have their names in the name. Yeah, something like that.
Are you looking it up? Okay,
I'm looking it up because I kind of need to know.
Oh no, I get it. I'm right there with you.
Rhino Man.
Do it.
Rhino Man is an episode.
I wouldn't look up images of Rhino Man. Though.
That's what it was. There was the superhero contest. The episode was called Rhino Man. It was the 26th episode of season 4. It came out November 3rd, 1990, where there's the contest, and Bebop and Rocksteady enter it, and they have to. There's a young man that calls himself Cheeseburger Man. Remember that?
No.
And like he's trying to be in the contest and win the contest. Oh, that revealed the millionaire J. Gordon Hungerdunger. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do remember.
We had so much fun with his name.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And yeah, you get the malaprop diamond if you win, and that was like the whole thing. And and then so that's when Bebop and Rocksteady like take their hack at it, and that's when they become like Rhino Man or whatever.
John Clemens got you on that chat. Oh, so we're Googling now. But yeah, but I will. I gotta stand up. I gotta speak up. I gotta speak up because this is
You've been speaking up for an hour. No,
I'm speaking up for you because I'm trying to defend you because no, that's it doesn't make sense that Super Bebop and Mighty Rocksteady shouldn't be the ones with capes. That doesn't make any sense. But then if you try to argue it the other way that Rhino Man is going to be the robot version of them, so I get it, but it deserved a
no. I
Google.
just got they're very similar. Like kind of stories, but it makes sense. Okay, so I'll say smart about it is it makes sense that like they wouldn't have their name that they go by, like their nickname in their superhero name.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
They'd be Rhino Man, right? Because it's more more of a thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Well, all right. Well,
by the way,
yeah,
it's for the kids. It's for the kids.
It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
So, all right, moving on. So, this is kind of the start of what would normally be like what we're going to be doing on the fourth Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We only have time for this one thing. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna cover this topic, and then we're gonna say bye-bye. But we do have plans. We want to do Turtles Come Out and Fight That. We want to do Dims the Rules, definitely. And we'll explain more of those maybe next time, like when we kind of get into, or no, we got to do it today because we want to maybe like generate some.
Right.
But a lot of this could be based off of live chat. Like, for example, like Dims the Rules, if we, and we're going to experiment with this, but we've got ideas where like maybe you guys can help us choose like what segment we do next or what like kind of like modular piece we go with next. A freestyle kind of thing on the fourth Thursday. But.
Yeah, like if somebody said like, "Hey, Dims the Rules on this," and then it's like, "Oh snap, okay, so like, this happens." It's like, "Oh,
I love that."
Like, oh, okay.
Not bad.
Yeah,
hot.
And then we
type them out.
Let's so it'd
be
something like real quick, just
Dims the Rule. Oh, a little graphic.
Dims.
Oh, Eric,
is it typing? I can't see. Dims rules.
What, you can't see it?
My camera is like right in front of the graphic, so I can't see it.
You got them.
So it's showing up.
So that was
okay.
Right. Yes. So that was one kind of fun thing about doing Dims the Rules. And if you guys don't know, a lot of you in chat are long timers right now. So you probably all, I'm probably talking to the ether, but if you don't know what Dims the Rules is, it was this old segment we did where like people would email. It came off with something Eric said.
Yeah.
Like Eric was like mega tired, and like we used to record, like we'd record till like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like it was wild, like how late we'd stay up, and we were so wrecked. And then Eric would just like say things, and I would do it too, but like Eric just had a way. And at some point, I can't remember the context. We were on the show, and I said something, and you go, "Hey man, Dims the Rules." And I lost my shit about it. It was the funniest thing I'd ever heard, and we both started laughing about it.
Yeah, because that's not something that I would have said. I would have never said that normally.
No. Like, that's not like it's the kind of the way that you just kind of did it. Like, the way you're just kind of like, that was like your final statement, because we were so tired. You're like, those are rules. Like, that's all I'm going to say about it. It made me laugh so hard. So we started doing this segment called Dims the Rules, where we took emails, basically saying like, what do you want the rules on? And we would freestyle the rules like of this thing. Like, okay, rule number 1. You know what I mean? And we'd like just go for it. Now, part of it was kind of fun back in the day because we had to keep the rules floating in our head because we never wrote them down. That was like one of the funnest. And if you go back to the old episodes, there are some that are pretty like risque, but they're pretty damn funny. And the fun part was trying to keep it alive in our head. But now with the magic of YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
we can list the rules out for y'all.
We can.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't got to keep them floating in your head. You know what I mean? Love the graphic. Love the notepad that we had a pre-production call last night where I was like, could you just type into a shitty notepad? And Eric's like, no promises, but I'll work on it.
Yeah.
And now look at what you get.
So there you go.
So that's so fun. The chat.
Yeah.
It's so good. John Clement saying watching me crumble in real time is the best episode ever. Mitch says, have you guys heard of these new toys called Saurozoic
Warriors? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken,
I haven't heard of that.
I think Boss Fight Studios is doing them, and I could be wrong on that, but I did see them. They're very colorful. I remember seeing something about Land Before Time, as if they were making some of the not like actual characters from that, but like loosely based on them, but not related really, just more like an homage. But it looked like a mixture of anthropomorphic dino riders, if I'm not mistaken, from what I saw. But Mitch, let me know if I'm speaking out of turn here. But that's what I recall seeing.
I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him now.
Is that close to what I was describing?
Yeah, you're dead on. These are all
good.
These are all renders I'm seeing right here. I don't think there's anything in hand yet. It seems like they're still in the reveal and check it out stage.
Yeah.
They are roughly 1/12 scale, so not your scale.
Mm-hmm. No, 1/12 scale is my scale. Yeah. That's 6 inches. 1/12.
That's 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 1/12. You okay? Did you freeze?
No, I fuck, I did. No, hold on. What's the wait? Then what's the scale for 12-inch Joe?
For 12-inch Joe, was that 8?
The fractional scale. Is it
3 3/4? 3 3/4 is
3
normal
3/4.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Good. Run back. I'm talking about 12-inch Joe, the original GI Joe, the 12-inch GI Joes. There was what is the fraction scale name for that?
Because I think as you go,
that's 1/6, right? Or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm not entirely sure.
Whatever. I have my mind blown because I thought 1/12. Now I remember 1/12 is 6-inch scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait.
It is.
Whatever.
Yeah. 1/12 and 6-inch.
They look cool. They're
around the same.
They're definitely like kind of like property agnostic miniatures figures. They're just kind of inspired by the 80s and 90s era of just like it's almost like these could have come out back then. Is like the feeling, right? Like kind of recreating the whole thing. They look pretty cool. We should try to add that at some point because we are creating a modular live show fun event. We should try to make it where you can like pull up the internet and show something like on the
Oh,
screen.
I have.
Like that.
Well, I'm gonna have to get the internet then. Dang.
Hey, calm down. I'm
gonna crumble on the show too.
fine. I could literally feel you like saddling another like world over your shoulders, Atlas. Like it's fine. Like we just won't do it. It's cool.
No. I love to make your dreams come true. So I just got to figure that out.
It seems cool.
Oh yeah.
No,
definitely.
it seems fun. So I think the thing I really dig about like looking at these is just I like that I like the inspired by that era, but we're doing it now.
Mhm.
That's a pretty cool thing. That happens a lot in right now in the space of like boutique guitar pedals,
Mhm.
like kind of like independent makers, small makers who are like there's a movement of like let me think up like if I don't know if a digital delay if we had digital delay one pedal I saw was if we had digital delay technology in the 80s, what would this pedal be?
Okay.
And then that's the whole idea. Is like imagine we jump forward in the future and digital delay is like as good as it is now, but we had that technology then. What kind of sounds would we be trying to get? And we're gonna make this pedal feel like it's almost like a alternate reality
Right.
kind of thing.
Huh.
It's kind of, so I like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we have one more bit of business,
We do.
and it is well, you know what? Because we're freestyling it here.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw it to you.
Okay.
So we are at the 2-hour time limit. So one thing we're going to try to do, and I know this feels a little bit like ad hoc. Normally when we do the prime, we're all squared away, but we're showing all the warts out here. You know what I'm saying? Normally we're at the 2-hour mark. So I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and push through and get this done, or do you want to save it for next time, or what?
I say we just go ahead and we could just go ahead and get it done. We just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Because
good.
and because that's what this is for. And like we mentioned, the news segment was long and it needed to be done, but because it's pertinent. But this is going to be where we just get stuff taken care of so that we can get caught up because we have a backlog of some of this stuff, and we want to do this because we've said we would, and we've been saying it for a long time about certain things. So I think that this would we can get through it. So it doesn't have to be too terribly long, but it's just we can just get through it. So we got like we've mentioned earlier, someone had asked us about the Kitty Pryde or Pride of the X-Men animated pilot, essentially, for an X-Men cartoon in the late 80s, and how that would work with the do you have the actual email up or the question, because I don't have that up.
I do.
So
I was prepared to lead the segment.
Oh, I thought you threw it back to me to see if I was going to lead it. So sorry, I was a little crossed.
So John Klein emailed us, bailed us out because we were doing the chat, we were hanging out with chat, and somebody dropped this statement, and we have not had someone admit to it yet, as I've seen. I've been watching chat for a while now, and no one's admitted to being the mystery person who wrote this.
Right.
But John Klein emailed it to us, and I mistakenly in the pregame show, because he sent other stuff in the email, I thought it was John Klein. But he says that he does not remember the person who posted it in chat, but he sent it to us because we wanted to talk about this. And the chat in question went like this: could you please discuss what a 1987 TMNT crossover with the 89 Pride of the X-Men would have been like?
Right.
I still have a former child theory. Former child. That's a deep cut.
Oh yeah.
I could tell that was written by an actual deep turtletarian because of the former child comment.
Oh yeah.
That the failure of Pride is the sole reason why Kitty and Lockheed were not allowed to be in the 92 Fox X-Men series, which is a real shame, as I, of course, am a giant fan of Kitty and Lockheed. But also, they would have been amazing in the 90s series. At least we got plenty of her in Evolution and a sprinkling of her in the Wolverine the X-Men show. Maybe they'll show up in the Disney Plus revival series. If not, why even bother? Smiley face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we wanted to have a discussion about what a 1987 TMNT like animated series crossover with the 1989 X-Men, failed X-Men pilot of Pride of the X-Men would have looked like had Pride of the X-Men or X-Men gone forward, right? The 89 attempt. And just for some of you that might not know about this, in 1989, Marvel. Okay, and Marvel had been on a run. So Marvel in like the early to mid '80s had made a lot of really popular cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking like the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like Incredible Hulk, I think cartoon. Like they're no damn. What was the other one? They went on a run
Mm-hmm.
and people were just like and like so like all the classic like the classic Spider-Man, like Spider-Man pointing at himself,
Oh yeah,
like all the
that's.
duplicate Spider-Man is from that original Spider-Man cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like big time. The problem was they also had a RoboCop cartoon. Which, do you remember the RoboCop cartoon?
I don't. Did he shoot people in the dick?
No, it
Oh,
was a lot more
dang.
kid
That's
oriented.
unfortunate.
I just remember like it opened with one episode I can remember opened with they were selling all these toys
Mm-hmm.
of Clarence Boddicker. Like there was like it was like a set where you can get a RoboCop mask and it
Mm-hmm.
changed your voice to sound like RoboCop.
Oh
But they
wow,
also
that's
had a
cool.
Clarence Boddicker mask that like you put on and your voice was like so you basically said bitches leave. That's all you could say. And it's a whole episode that dealt with him basically trying to deal with the fact that like these kids were running around with these masks on. Like it definitely wasn't super kiddie,
Right.
like, but it was still a kids cartoon.
Yeah.
So oh wow, he looked back. So M says it was Mitch Fletcher who said this. Mitch, you've been in chat all night. You ain't admit. You ain't admit to sending this part of the X-Men question. Anyway, so what happened was
Mm-hmm.
good.
Oh, I was just gonna continue say that. Yeah, that was Marvel, and then the other Marvel thing was Dino Riders. That was the other cartoon that was that Marvel was a part of the Marvel Action Hour in the 80s.
Oh, that's right.
With
Yeah.
RoboCop and stuff. Yeah, and Spider-Man is amazing.
So they had RoboCop and a funny story about I can't call it part of the X-Men because that's just the name of the episode. That's always bothered me. Everyone says they call it part of the X-Men, which I get it. I totally get it because that's the name of the one episode that was made. But it's not. I mean, it's the name of an episode. It's not the name of the cartoon. Anyway, this X-Men effort, the '89 X-Men, they actually took the budget to make it from the final episode of RoboCop. So they had 13 episodes planned for RoboCop for season 1. And they were like, tell you what, how about we make it 12? And then Mitch finally comes in and says, I forgot I sent the question. You know what I'm saying?
We forgive
I'm like,
you,
well,
Mitch.
hey, look, this was your genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy it. So they went, how about we take the money that it would cost us to do a 13th episode of RoboCop, and how about we make an X-Men pilot and we just shoot it out there, guys, and just see what people say. Why not? It's X-Men. It's badass.
Yeah.
So they did that. But the problem is, and I guarantee you, if they would have come knocking on the door for money to make an X-Men pilot without like kind of just taking money from that place and putting it in and let's go ahead and make X-Men, they would have learned that there was just no money. Like they would have been like, hey, yo, how about that X-Men money? They'd be like, how about you're not getting paid this week? And they'd be like, ooh, shit. Because Marvel the Marvel animation had been bought by several companies at that point. They stopped work on everything but Muppet Babies. Because that was like Muppet Babies was like the
best.
that was the money. That was where the money was. That was a
Love Muppet
breadwinner.
Babies.
Everybody else out of the pool. Everyone else canceled unilaterally. So like no one got more episodes but Muppet Babies. So everyone gets canned. And unfortunately, because they kind of worked this crazy magic to get part of the X-Men done, that was all you ever got. Thank you. By the time we get to 92, Fox and everything, the X-Men thing has changed hands and it's all different. Nobody comes over, nobody, so you have this like one episode of this 89 show that could have been something. And now it's not. So that's the backstory on it. So the assignment here, could you please discuss what an 87 TMNT crossover with the 89 Pride of the X-Men would have been like?
Now, did you have any before the internet? Did you see this? Did you know about this before the internet?
Something tells me I saw it on syndication. I didn't know it as Pride of the X-Men. I knew it as like, whoa, there's that like weird older X-Men cartoon, and I think I thought that there was just more episodes of it, but I never seen it.
Yeah,
Like you know what I mean. obviously 92 rocked our world when it came. I mean, I showed the kids the intro for the 92 Fox X-Men just today tonight over dinner just because I was like, you need to see this.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
But no, I think I'd seen it, and then in adult life with the internet, I was on my X-Men like I am, and I went back and watched it again, and then I literally watched it today, just to get right up to date.
Yeah,
day.
I saw. So I remember the arcade game. Definitely remember that. That was like me and Farmer Greg. We dropped a lot of quarters into that. And back whenever like you had your whenever computers were able to start getting, like, it was commonplace to get emulators. Find that MAME emulator and like try to get that X-Men arcade game and start playing that. Loved it. Welcome to Die, all this fun stuff.
Get that Wendigo.
Oh yeah.
Get that. Yes. Get that Welcome to Die.
Right.
You get all that in.
So
that's one thing I forgot to mention. So basically, the X-Men arcade game was based off of the '89 X-Men attempt.
Yeah.
Which is why
it's wild.
It's hard because you're still playing that game when you're watching the '92 Fox version, but like Wolverine's wearing brown.
Yeah.
There's like Dazzler's in it.
Yeah.
You're like, what? And like there's all these things, and it's because it's based off of that '89 X-Men. Yeah.
But like I had this. So then I remember very distinctly, because it was monumental for me seeing this at Blockbuster. They had a VHS copy of it, and I was like shook.
Oh, they had the individual release of it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because they did release it on VHS by itself. Yeah.
And I scooped that up and I watched it and I loved everything about it. I still sing the song, the X-Men, this is the day, that whole thing. I'll sing it all the time, and loved that thing. And I loved this thing so much, and I still do. I think it's fantastic, and this is my X-Men. This is the team that I love, the costumes that I love. I love so much about this. Don't love that Wolverine's Australian, but yeah.
Okay.
I am like super enamored with this version of the X-Men.
So this is where, and we talked a little bit about this before we started. But this is where, and this is not about just us talking about Pride of the X-Men, but I mean, I feel like we talk about Turtles enough. This is like filling up the other half before we imagine this thing. On my recent watch of the one I watched, when I watched it today, I think the last time I watched it, not my X-Men. Like,
okay.
And look, it's, I mean, first of all, everyone loves Kitty Pryde. Like, I'm not going to stand here. A lot of people that love comics go, well, what makes me a little different? This might be a little weird, but I like Kitty Pryde. Everyone likes Kitty Pryde. She's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everyone loves Kitty Pryde. She's awesome. She's so great. And like Kitty and Colossus, all that stuff, it's so good. Like, so I'm another nerd I'm another white man with a beard that likes Kitty Pryde. Okay, everyone does. That being said, Kitty Pryde in the actual Pride of the X-Men, like, she's awful. And I get the idea that, like, that was a starting point. That, like, maybe Kitty's got to be like really weird before she starts and stuff.
Yeah.
Word up. But Wolverine's Australian.
Yeah.
And then the guy I was reading, the guy that like kind of was in charge of that, or they asked about, like, why was that the case? Your boy goes like, well, Australian stuff was really popular at the time. Crocodile Dundee and Mad Max and stuff. And he goes, he also drops this one just out of nowhere. And on Wikipedia, it's so funny because the minute after he says this, like the author on Wikipedia just goes on to refute the hell out of it with like sources cited, like all crazy. Because he goes, it's kind of fake news. He's like, yeah, he's like, honestly. And then like, he was Canadian, but like, honestly, like in Marvel, like there was totally an absolute plan to make him a freaking Australian expat. So.
No.
And then the author of the week comes in and goes, there was no plan by anyone associated. Basically, there is no mention ever of this. He was Canadian from his first appearance, Hulk 181. He continued to be Canadian forever. There was never no one in charge of anything ever spoke out and ever said that ever. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like that guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. The only thing close is that the X-Men did go to Australia at some point, or probably around this time, actually. But
that's what they said in the article.
Yeah, that's
actually they said like that he may have been confused by the fact that like they had a base in Australia for a hot minute in '89 when this guy was like knee deep in the X-Men lore trying to like work on the show. So like
Right.
that he got a little crossed up there.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's Canadian, obviously. That's a win for John Clemens in chat. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Now, actually, it's funny because I think John Clemens gets to claim Marvel's The Wolverine, and he also gets to claim the Weasel.
Oh, that's true. Marvel's the Weasel.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, Image is the Weasel.
Yeah. M says Ilyana all day, and I'm also on that too.
True. Yeah.
We love all. Let's be honest, we love all the X-Men. So anyway, Eric, I'm gonna start you out here. Okay, so we've talked a lot about Pride of the X-Men.
We have.
What could have been. I feel a little bit like it's kind of like a Firefly situation, where like it's very easy to fall in love with something that didn't ever happen fully. That didn't get like a huge run. But I gotta admit, I did like the animation style, and I'm not trying to hate. I'm sure mainly just trying to provide counterpoint a little bit. Like to me, the 92 X-Men were a little bit more in line with the comics I was reading at the time. I wasn't really reading X-Men in the late 80s. Like I was definitely reading it in that era. So that team and that stuff lines up more with me from 92 than maybe 89 does.
Yeah. That's fair. And that makes sense. And the X-Men 92 cartoon is that one deserves all the accolades that it gets because it's great for what it is. I have my gripes with it. It's a lot of it's weird, but this one, I like everything you said about it is I feel very much the same. Like Kitty's kind of weird, and some of the Professor X stuff's
the
weird.
First episode, Kitty, like the whole idea is like Kitty enters the picture and she's like, mutants. Even though I'm a mutant, I hate my own kind. Oh, I was so mean tonight. I was so mean to Nightcrawler, and like she's gonna get better because she's Kitty, like,
of course. And you need the point of view character, and then that's what that was, and you know that, and then that's what they were trying to get across, and but. Something about like the eclectic group of them, whereas with the 92 version, it's like you didn't have a lot of variety. It was just like, oh, you have all the pretty and attractive X-Men, and maybe like, oh, but Beast gets thrown in prison for a bit, and that's it. There you go. So
it's very blue and gold. Like the 92 X-Men is very like Jim Lee boys. Like it's what was gonna eventually be handed to Jim Lee, that team. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Chris Claremont Final Form. And you do miss like certain characters that were some of the best X-Men characters that you and villains that you see in Pride.
Absolutely.
Which is really cool.
Yep.
So let's get into this. So
what's the assignment?
The assignment is I'm going to set the scene.
Okay.
So it's wild. It's 1990.
Ooh. The wild 90s.
We're alternate history. The boys at Marvel went like, psst, give me that RoboCop episode 13 money, baby. and they take it. They're like, and then they go to the animation studio and they're like, do X-Men because you know it's gonna be cool. Right. And they make Pride. They make the first episode and they do it. And it turns out for whatever reason, that one pilot is seen by way too many kids and it blows the hell up.
Yeah.
Everyone's making money. Like Marvel gets bought by a different company and we're like, we're not going to say to somebody else in a fucking year and destroy your entire thing you got. We're just going to keep you and it's going to be great. So Pride takes off. 1990, they're looking to make season 1 proper. Okay?
Yeah.
And somebody gets this idea and goes, you know what's hot fire? Turtles. We need to plan this first season, because we're doing okay, but we need to kick out of the park. We're going to team up with those turtles. Kevin and Peter, all about it. Sturge licensing, have your people call my people. You know what I'm saying? Stan Lee's there, like true believers. They're like, okay, Stan, just stand over there, and they basically figure it out.
Yeah,
and they pin the deal. You are working. Oh, this is even better assignment. You ready for this? We're gonna role play this shit.
Okay. Oh, geez. Okay.
Oh, man. M just said Chris Claremont Final Form is the New Mutants. No, word. And you can stand ready to die on that hill. No, I meant like X-Men Final Form for Claremont. I mean, just give me a second. Okay. Killing me here.
Goodness.
You are a representative.
Okay.
You're the representative from Sturge Licensing. You've got Kevin and Peter's complete, like, let's do this. Like, I want you in the room and you guys write it. I am the guy from Marvel that Marvel sent. And you and I meet in a room. And our assignment is to write the episode where TMNT and Pride of the X-Men, or X-Men 90 now, alternate reality, X-Men 90,
Okay.
where they cross over. So you've got the Turtles' best interest at heart. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give that lofty goal to you.
Okay.
I'm looking out for the X-Men, and we can have ideas on either side too. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have cool ideas for the X-Men, let's do it. But that's our job today.
Okay.
We're sitting down in a room somewhere in LA, and we got to like make this pilot happen. We don't got to do the whole storyline, but let's brainstorm. How do these things intermesh?
So I think the way it should start is with the Turtles. I think it should start with Donnie's portal transport thing.
Okay.
And that he's tinkering with it, and because like, see, I always get confused if Dimension X is another universe or if it's just if it's in another area in the same universe, but it's just in a different like thing. It always gets a little blurry.
So in my head canon, and I feel like it's backed up by evidence, especially by its name, and that you need a portal to get there. Dimension X is a alternate dimension. Like, it exists beside our own, right? One of those alternate reality, alternate dimensions.
Right.
You can't fly to Dimension X. You have to go somehow through a portal to get to it, because it's a parallel reality.
Okay. So thank you. That's what I'm getting at. So then, so I guess the portable portal generator can already do this. So maybe Donatello can just be tinkering with it, and he finds a thing where maybe like he's messing with it, and it messes with Nightcrawler's like ability somehow, and Nightcrawler shows up. And because, you know, if Colossus as Peter shows up, just a regular human guy. If Dazzler shows up, just a regular human lady. If Storm shows up, regular human. Even Wolverine. So like Nightcrawler shows up, you're like, what's this? This is a mutant. This is definitely like, even the Turtles could recognize him as a mutant, and the Turtle fans, like the people who were watching the Turtles, recognize him as mutant. X-Men fans recognize the Turtles as mutants. Yeah. So I think that's how you're going to bridge that gap, to get those two together. And so that could be one thing to kind of bring the two together. Does that make sense? Does that
it does.
Okay. And so you have classic, like, who is this? Good guys fight one another, and it's a classic thing where Nightcrawler's just teleporting left and right, and they just can't, you know, they can't catch him. And eventually I would imagine that this would be something where they would somehow get rope-a-doped and come to terms and talk, but then they got to figure out a way to get Nightcrawler back. And or it could be to where Nightcrawler goes up into the streets and is not as discreet as the Turtles would be. But then again, if this is the 87 continuity, that their discreetness was like all over the place. People knew about him, people didn't know about him. Who knew? But the big thing between the two is that they're both mutants, and they're both generally have discrimination that they have to deal with as a result of that. And so I could see that being a crux of it. But the problem is that how do you get the rest of the, like, how does the rest of the X-Men so
M's throwing a lot of good things about, he loves the portal idea. He has something too about the Mousers messing with Morlocks. Like, and Mikey has to save a Morlock, and that's how they kind of run into each other. John Clemens has ideas for the Mojoverse, which like, okay, so that was a little bit of what I thought is that basically like the TMNT could just portal themselves into the Mojoverse and like onto Mojo's planet, and all of a sudden it's a little bit like of what happened, like what happened in Archie.
Yeah.
But now they're fighting, like they're out there like on the live stream for Mojo.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I have an idea. Okay. And I might have to run this back up by Stan and everybody else, you know, back at Marvel. But let me just pitch you on this.
Excelsior.
Well, yeah, bless you. I think we need 2 episodes to get this done.
Oh, of course.
A 2 episode arc.
That's fine.
And
so we'll move RoboCop to 11 episodes, and we'll get to you. Yeah.
No. Remember, we got our full season order.
Sorry. Give it back, RoboCop.
Like, so this is 90, and business is great right now. Okay. So we get to do everything. So what I'm thinking is we need 2 parts. We need a place where the X-Men are in the TMNT world, and then the TMNT come to the X-Men's world, right? Like to the 616. Like we need to flip around.
Okay.
I'm thinking one thing we could do is mess with Days of Future Past / the Mutant Registration Act stuff. Because one thing that the Turtles and the X-Men have in common is that they are mutants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the X-Men are humans that mutated. Okay.
Yeah.
A little different. Like, let's be honest. In the 616, freaking mutant's a mutant. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're anthropomorphic. Do they know that they weren't humans first and now they look like turtles? No. No one knows that. I feel like that has to be part of it. I feel like you have to hammer home that fear that they both share, like you said earlier, about being mutants, being like on the edge of things. And I've got a titillating scrap for you. You ready for this?
Always.
Somewhere in the ruckus, okay, probably when we're in TMNT world and we're messing with our portal generator,
right?
I think Raph gets radicalized a little bit by Magneto.
That's a lot. Okay. So
think about it. Think about it. If they went to, when I say Days of Future Past, I mainly mean like the Mutant Registration Act. It doesn't have to be the future Days of Future Past storyline where like everything's dead and they wanted posters. Like it doesn't have to be that. It's more about the MRA because I love it. It's like one of my favorite elements of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if like they interact with Magneto.
Okay.
And Magneto isn't like he is in Pride in that first episode where he's just pure evil and he calls he calls the Brotherhood of Mutant terrorists.
He does.
Like he himself calls them terrorists in the show. And that is so bad because like he would never do that.
No.
That's but people love Pride of the X-Men. They love it to death. But he literally goes, "Oh, my Brotherhood of Mutant terrorists." When they find out, I'm like, "Come on."
Well, that's not going to make me hate it because he said that. He just said,
I know.
So, I mean,
I'm just saying. So, when I'm in charge of this show, Magneto's going to be like, Magneto from the comics, where he's basically like understandable, and it's not ex-chicken. So he's going to be like. He's going to be able to convince you. He's going to do what he did to us when we read the comics when we were kids, which is like you sat there and go, Magneto, I'll be honest. Like you have a 10-point plan. The ending part is enslaving humanity. I'm not cool with that, but I'll be honest.
But that's
on the other 9 points, on the 9 points just before that, I'm kind of weirdly understand you.
Right.
That's the best thing about Magneto, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think of all of them, Raph could be radicalized to join the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Okay.
I think he could. I think that like he's got enough on the bone. Oh, damn it. It's the 87 animated series.
See, that's the thing. But you're not too far off. You could probably get Raph irritated enough to where he's going to be like, it won't be so much like he's going to murder somebody, but like he could be fed up with not getting credit for doing stuff. Because in fact, all the Turtles towards the end are especially that way.
Yeah, I guess I'm not saying that he joins the Brotherhood and is an active villain, but he floats over that way. Goes on one of those like Em earlier mentioned, like a Raph pout, where he goes on a pout walk. Okay,
yeah,
I could see your boy pout walking to like Island M, or pout walking down to like see what Magneto's talking about.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? A little bit,
yeah,
and then maybe he doesn't go through with it. But maybe that's where Raph is hanging out for a second because like that'd be very interesting to see some of the. But then again, we're dealing with the 87 animated series. I feel like they wouldn't ever go this deep because that's not our job here, boys. Like, you know what I mean? Our job is not to do that.
Yeah, that's where as a representative of Surge Licensing, that's where I'm gonna have to execute this plan. But I like it. I love the idea of it. Let's just table that for just a little bit, just some of that. I like the idea though because it's neat.
Yeah.
The thing I'd want to do though, and it's kind of a trope, is you'd want to do almost Freaky Friday, but not. It's the same person, but you're just trading one person from. So like Wolverine and Raphael would get switched into both universes. Like that would be the obvious thing. Except Wolverine,
you're
is
right.
as far as his actual character is very much in line with Raphael, but as far as being a obvious mutant, he isn't really. So that's the only the major difference between the two, which would cause a problem with that kind of trope. But yeah, I don't know how well, here's a better question. Which universe would better serve to house this story? Would it be good to bounce between the two, or would you think that, or you were talking about having a 2-episode thing, so it would be one episode would have in this universe, Turtles universe, and the other one would be,
you know what?
X-Men.
I would say if you ran it by Surge and you ran it by Kevin and Peter and Murakami Wolf Swinson and everybody who's involved, and if you're cool, that I would suggest that we co-host it.
Okay.
I think that we have one episode of the 87 animated series where my boys show up, and my boys and girls, and we'll host you on an episode, and
Right.
we'll make them connect.
Okay.
Like, so maybe we'll start off with you, right? Because you're the established one. Like,
Right.
we're just trying to get this game. We really hope that this show takes off. Like,
Okay.
Pride was really well received, and we really hope we can get this done.
Right.
And so we'll let you. You know, we're dancing. You know, we'll follow your lead. So let's get into. So let's make an episode on your end that is in your universe, and some of our people will come over.
Okay, so let's see. So how many seasons do y'all have with this with Pride? Is 2 or 3? At this point,
we're kind of season by season right now.
Okay.
So we're trying to make the best season 1 we can, and hopefully we can get renewed.
Okay, so one way or the other, Professor X has the Cerebro machine, which is pretty much a MacGuffin that you can use it to do whatever it really needs to do,
Absolutely.
right? Like a Deus Ex Machina. So
Absolutely.
I like my idea of the two technologies crossing over, or maybe we're in the danger room where Nightcrawler comes to the Turtles verse, feels like he's in the danger room still. Like this is some sort of like other
I love that.
Like training thing, and he's taking him out. But you know, Nightcrawler, he's got that heart. Like he's actually like the physical appearance of a demon, but the heart of an angel kind of deal. And so once that gets resolved, that's like the first little part. Then they start to realize that, oh, he's actually here. And it's fine.
Yes,
and,
I can actually see that physically happening. Like the classic episode opens up, the Turtles are like watching TV. Oh, April show's coming on, and she's like, oh, in the middle of the city, and like Kurt is like bamfing like everywhere, and he's just like randomly destroying like helicopters and shit, like just because he thinks he's in the danger room. Oh, I love that.
Oh, see, I was thinking it would be just him in the turtle lair, because that's where the portal would be, the generator. And so he would be there, and he'd see the turtles, and he would think that, oh, these are not decoys, but something for the danger room. And so, and then they would instinctively fight, because that's just what the turtles do with anybody who comes through the portal, essentially.
That's what turtles do.
And but yeah, and then that, now it could escalate to that, what you're talking about, which would be a cool idea, but I think it would start.
Okay, how about that? How about it starts in the lair, and they fight. And like whatever, and like honestly, the turtles aren't ready for the bamf. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, just not even ready for like the smell of brimstone.
Oh yeah,
and Kurt just like they're getting out rope-a-doped.
Yeah,
and that's impossible, but it's happened to them.
Right.
And maybe he bamfs his way because it's all line of sight. Like he bamfs his way out of like the sewer very quickly.
Yeah.
And now he's and the whole time he's like, saying things in German, like, mein Gott,
right?
This danger room simulation's ridiculous. And he's like out in the city, and he's like he's got to be wrecking Bern Thompson's like all this tech. Like
all of it. Yeah.
He's got to wreck the van that April hopped out of to film him.
Right.
Then he's got to and I think maybe that's what it is like he appears to be this villain who is very German and very like happy-go-lucky for how much he's destroying stuff out here.
Now once he gets calmed down, maybe he destroys a couple things, but it's not enough to like cause like a huge outbreak or outcry. But it's enough to where it's noticeable. And so this is where the heart of the episodes come in, where Nightcrawler, who's the most visibly obvious mutant in the X-Men, or one of them, at least
looks like an actual like demon. That's
Precisely.
the thing about him, is like he physically looks like he's not human.
He ends up, the turtles finally calming down and explain to him like what's going on. April comes in, or April and Irma or whatever, and they're not surprised by his appearance. They don't freak out. This shocks Nightcrawler and makes him feel like, whoa, what is this? Like because in my timeline, I have to hide. I have to have this thing that makes me that it's a hologram that makes it look like I'm a human, and you don't care even though I have a tail and all this stuff. And they're like, no, it's fine. We've met other people. These are our turtle friends. And the fact that mutants can walk around and be friends with humans shows him that that's a possibility in a different world. And that could be a huge part of these 2 episodes is that reconciliation. Because maybe before this, Nightcrawler's wrestling with that. Then he goes into the danger room, gets brought over here, and then sees that, like, he might be giving up, like, it could get dark and say he's giving up on the idea that he could be accepted and might think about ending it or something, his life. But instead this redeems him, or the idea of that humanity and mutants could be together. And and then that's about as far as I've got as far as my ideas to get him here. And then obviously they'd have to try to get him back, but
yeah, so here's the thing. So, like, what happens is Nightcrawler, my idea is, like, so Nightcrawler's there, and yeah, like, I love all that stuff where he's in a world where he's like, look, like, I know the world at large isn't down, but maybe, like, right after he meets April and Irma and they introduce him to the turtles in the lair, he comes back and he apologizes, because, Kurt's a great guy. Like, Kurt's like a super solid guy. So the minute he realizes, like, he's not in the danger room, he's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yes. And he's like, guys, like, oh my God. And then they start catching up, and then of course the sewer alarm goes off, and it's like yet another Shredder MacGuffin problem. It's another Shredder Krang. Here we go, boys. Like, and now Kurt's along to help, and like it's super cool. All right, like I'm thinking like that could be kind of like your episode, because we both only got 22 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like by the time that gets done, like Kurt ropes a dope. And it seems cool. And I'll be honest, if you're maybe a TMNT fan and you're just going to watch your TMNT, that could be its own episode for you. Yeah. And you're good. Yeah. But when things come over to my side, what happens is, in this episode of X-Men, I'm thinking, Kurt's missing. Because, like, because he's off in that world. And he's kind of like, maybe we could throw in some vibe a little bit, like you're saying, where he's kind of like, I like this place. Gotta be honest. Like, if I'm a superhero in this world, they actually respect me. Because there is a period in New York where, like, when the Turtles, like, in the animated series, when they're doing good, people don't treat them like they're wild animals. No. Like people go, like, kind of acknowledge them, like, oh, hey. Like, and they help stop muggings, and the person doesn't scream and run away. Right. So Kurt's in a better place than the Marvel Universe. Absolutely. Or he knows it. Yeah. He knows it. He's in a better place for mutants, put it that way. Well, over in the X-Men side of things, the Marvel continuity, what's happening is, we have some episodes running beforehand. We're gonna try to do some storyline. I know that's not really your style. Like, you guys just gotta do bottle episodes. I'm not insulting you. It's cool. But like over here, like with Pride, with X-Men 90, we're gonna try to run some stuff together. And
we've done 2-parters before. Actually we've done 2-parters before.
That's right, like Howie. I saw your work. Yes. Yes. The fan with the Moxie. Yes, I'm familiar. Yeah. So, I hope one day you guys get back to that.
I hope
it's not way too late.
Yeah.
When you guys get back to that, and you don't have to change a lot about your show. But anyway, man, like I said, that's just a fear we all have, right? We all wake up in the middle of the night with that cold sweat. But in my universe, something's been going down for a while, and they need Nightcrawler to help. Okay. And they need Kurt, but they don't know where he is. So they use Cerebro, and actually at this point, Professor X is like incapacitated in this storyline. And he can't use Cerebro. And you're going to have to help me out. We're going to have to break character a little bit. What were the characters in the X-Men universe capable of using Cerebro if he couldn't? It was
Stepford Cuckoos. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
All the twins, the Emma Frost's
the twins. Who else? There's a few other people that have used Cerebro.
I think Jean could.
Right? Charles, the Cuckoos.
I think Emma could.
Didn't what's his name? Legion. Didn't Legion use it? Am I wrong?
He could have. I mean, that's Professor X's son. So
yeah,
I think.
Anyways, okay, I'm writing myself a bit of a corner here. They can't use Cerebro for a while, and they're trying to find Kurt because, like, they just know. And I'm going to say at this point, because Kitty Pryde's in my show, because let's be honest, that pilot was great. Kitty, like, because of her bond she's built with Nightcrawler,
Yeah.
she knows Kurt's not dead. She just knows this. Oh, Jean.
Okay.
That's right. John,
Yeah.
damn it. Jean's definitely used Cerebro.
Yeah. I said
Totally.
Jean.
I'm sorry. I didn't think about Jean. I don't know why I didn't think about Jean. God, that's strange. It's late, guys. Either way, Jean finally comes around. She's been off doing some stuff. She comes around. They use Cerebro, and they find they're actually able, and with some wild thinking, they're able to actually find Kurt, but they know he's in another dimension, and they got to go find him. And that's when Ileana gets involved. Do you know what I'm saying? And she warps over there. She does her thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I do.
Because she can go to hell.
She
like
can.
other dimensions.
So can you.
So that's what she does.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
So I'm thinking we throw her in, and she is on a one-woman mission to get Kurt back. So she goes into the TMNT universe. She finds Kurt, and she's like, what are you doing? We're in crisis mode. It's real bad. And Kurt's like, listen, you got to think about this shit. This universe is great. But she's like, nah, son. And she brings him back. But in the incident, the Turtles wound up coming back with Nightcrawler. And then they help get everything kind of fixed up in the X-Men universe.
Well,
I'm running out of ideas. I'm very tired.
No, I get it. I like that. I like it. It's a little convoluted only because it's. I feel like there's a lot of step. I think that forgive me. I mean, I can only speak from my property that we represent. Here at Surge Licensing. But what about this? What we can still keep a lot of that. How about Nightcrawler's liking this stuff a lot, but we know we got to get him back over there. There could be like a thing where something's happening and he can't physically stay. So Donatello makes it to where they have to send him back, but when they send him back the same way he came, it takes the Turtles with him. And because Xavier's probably incapacitated, and because Jean or whoever is using Cerebro at the same time, a very similar event happens, brings the Turtles over. Same scenario. Nobody's listening. The X-Men are in the danger room again, and they're thinking the Turtles are a part of this too. Same fight thing, but on their terms.
That's really good.
And so,
oh my god,
so that fight's happening. That gets resolved. But then I don't know where we could go from there, like what that would look like, because then you're living in a world where man fears and hates the mutant race. Whereas in like you mentioned earlier, that in New York in 87 TMNT animated series New York, that is just a thing that changes with the day, like the weather. Like one day you're like they're giving you the key to the city. The next day they hate you and they're making Lord Dreg giving it to him. So yeah. So the X-Men would have to come up with something, but I don't know what the MacGuffin would be to make them like have to do something. But your idea about Raphael getting radicalized by Magneto to talk about getting appreciation for things you do. That's a really cool thing that we here at Surge Licensing would love to tap into.
See, that was definitely like where like that was the idea of all these that I was like the most in love with. The idea that like you have the meaningful crossing over where like you actually see the TMNT like really meld into the X-Men universe. So like they would be swayed by the ideology of things. Like different characters would go different directions. Like what would April do in that X-Men universe? Like what would she do? Like you know what I mean? Like she has a job there, but would she have the same job there? You could see how like in the news, like everybody's basically Byrne Thompson, and she's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Because like everybody's kind of like, send me pictures, give me pictures of Spider-Man, kind of thing. Like everybody's like Triple J, like, everybody's like a complete shitbag. And I think that's the real interesting things that we could do. And you know what? This might take further thought. You know what I mean? You can't build Rome in a day. But I really like your ideas. I like I like the Danger Room being used over and over again kind of idea where like at first
Yeah.
Kurt thinks he's in it, then like in the X-Men episode when they get pulled in, like the X-Men think that there's the turtles are part of the Danger Room simulation and they all
Right.
that's right. And there's a lot of good so look, I think we know what the assignment here is. They want to see some cool story stuff, but mainly the kids want to see cool interactions. So
Right.
seeing Raph and Wolverine fight,
Yeah.
because they're both the most primal fighter, they both have the spikes going on.
Right.
Like that's cool, right?
Right.
I think it's really cool to see like Donatello and Beast, like
Oh, that'll be really
Mono,
neat.
because
Yeah,
they're cut from the same cloth, and that's super beautiful, right?
it is.
Let's find more pairings. So Mikey and
Mikey is probably gonna. I think now this might sound a little weird. Like I don't know how well you know our character, Michelangelo, but he comes off a little kind of like a horn dog, but toned down, more like a kid that like has crushes and that can be very flirtatious. But you know, so maybe he's like trying to hit it off with Kitty, and that could cause some problems with like Colossus, who is also trying to do things with Kitty. And you know what I'm saying? And so so maybe that could happen, and that could be a thing. And
that's kind of cool. Maybe we could have like a need I say more?
Right.
That's a great combo. I think Master Splinter and Xavier.
Obviously.
Master Splinter, Xavier, and Magneto.
Oh yeah.
Like talking it out over the smoking ruins of something. That's something I want to see.
Yeah, I do too. I think the kids
also,
would love a talking scene. Totally.
Look, man, I hate to say it, but like X-Men, like we do talk, guys. Like even in Pride, like Charles and Magneto have that moment where they talk about their ideologies that like we're doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's not all just I made a funny and slip on the banana peel over here with Marvel. Right? You know what I mean? Like that is where we're a little different.
Okay.
But we, you know, so I feel like you could do that. Also for some weird reason, I just want to see Raph fight Juggernaut.
Oh,
like
interesting.
That's just a thing I want to see happen.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object a little bit between the two of them.
Yeah.
Because you know off the bat, Juggernaut's going to win that. Because like Raph's going to try to go head to head. Like,
did you say Raph or Donatello?
Punch.
You said Donatello first.
I said Raph.
Oh no, you're right. I was for some reason in my head it switched to Donatello.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I apologize.
It does all be cool too, but Raph would try to approach it head on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I will knock your big ass down.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm Juggernaut, bitch, because that's what he always says. And then Gemma Sidorak. And then all of a sudden, like Raph's got to go, wait a minute. I got to do my thing. Also, the last thing I'll say, because we do need to wrap this live stream up. Raph dismantling like a sentinel like Wolverine would. That's all I gotta say.
That would be neat.
Animate that, and that's gold. Like
I love all those ideas. I love all those ideas. And if this is a hit, I got a fax here. Sorry, while we were doing this.
Sure. Go for it.
One of our other, members of Surge Licensing, Mr. Clemens, had said something about. You haven't met him yet. He's in the other, in our other office. Said something about the Mojoverse, like throwing the Mojoverse in and maybe doing that. So maybe
I said that way earlier.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe he sent it to you. I didn't know if you saw his fax that came in. I must have missed. I'm sorry.
He had briefed me. We had lunch. We had lunch
okay,
yesterday.
so you have met. Okay. Well, but that idea is definitely very good. And if the ideas we just spoke about actually are successful, sorry, they had a little earthquake there. Okay, so everything's good. If that's successful, then we could probably we would definitely want to run with the Mojoverse, because that would be another thing that would practically write itself. And
I can tell you something kind of happening in the background on our side. It's not necessarily what I mean, like, but I do know about some of the stuff you've been working on.
Okay.
I follow you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I talk to people. I knew John Clemens.
Cool.
You know what I mean? I had lunch with him before you got the facts.
Dang.
I was saying earlier that you've got some stuff going on with a stick and stump, I believe, in your Archie Adventures comic.
That's true. You do.
That is very Mojo, and I love that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like your Turtles work are really great in that environment.
That just
is
goes
all I'm
together.
saying. And I mentioned this earlier in this conversation, that the Mojoverse thing that John Clemens and I talked about over lunch that's its own valid, independent idea. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
Is the Turtles wind up in the Mojoverse? Mojo's there. It's all a big TV show. It's all a big whole production. No one knows. The thing about Mojo is you don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the X-Men have an interaction. They literally meet up there. That's its own like side fertile.
Yeah.
Because Emerson said this is fertile ground, and I feel like that's like the best way to describe this. Like,
yeah,
you could just say Turtles in Mojoverse Go, and you've written it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and the other thing too with your continuity with the X-Men in this timeline is you have Dazzler, and Dazzler pairs very well with Longshot, and Longshot is very well with Mojo, and so you get a lot of that coming in, and that's even cooler. So
I admit we're a little messy. Like we're having to introduce like Mystique, because technically in the first episode, like in the pilot, it was like Brotherhood of Mutants, but then Toad was there, and like Mystique really should have been there. If and then Emma Frost is there, who's not part of the Brotherhood of Mutants. And then, so we have a lot to clean up this season. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a lot to clean up. Emma Frost did look really great in.
She did. They should have just done Mystique, but that would have been a little bit more difficult with her power set. I think I could see that. But Toad's valid. Toad's been there since the beginning.
That's one of my favorite parts about Pride is that Emma Frost is in it.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's literally her power set is shown like by all those like soldier guys thinking that like the road's turning into quicksand.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
super
and then
cool.
she throws that mind bolt that she pulls out of her brain or whatever, and she throws that. Oh,
no.
Yeah, and and when Magneto makes
it's pretty
the gun
great.
I love it so much. It's so good.
But it's legit. It's legit. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. We
right,
did it.
Thanks so much for taking your time with us.
Hey, man, we'll be in touch.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. We'll be in touch. Like this is an alternate reality we can always come back to. You know what I'm saying? Where we're in this meeting room, we're talking about X-Men and Turtles. If you guys want to hear any more of that, maybe in another reality, another place, we could just role play that we're two different people with two different companies and we're doing crossovers.
That
segment
that it would be a fun segment.
You know what I mean? Like one person representing the interests of one company, one person, kind of like we're coming to the table, like let's do this. That could be a fun segment. But guys, like obviously kind of experimental, kind of new.
Yeah.
Like try to do this thing on the fourth Thursday of every month. Chat's been fantastic, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. We really want to craft whatever this thing becomes with you guys. So it's super cool that you're here.
Yeah.
Once again, those big the long form emails. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things that maybe we might not have time for on the show. Send them in. Throw something if you're throwing your mind spear, your Emma Frost like kapow.
Yeah.
If you're throwing that into the gas truck that's holding Magneto,
right?
Like if you're like, it looks like
it does
carry gas or milk in.
It totally
but
does.
If Magneto's inside there and you're throwing a bullet and your mind arrow is specifically aimed for the part of Magneto's gas truck that has this concept in mind, these bonus episodes where it's longer form, put that in the subject line.
Yeah.
Like definitely say like bonus episode question or bonus episode thing. Because that will let us know off the bat, like, well, okay, cool. Like maybe we won't try to wedge this in. We'll really save it.
Right.
We want to do Turtles Come Out and Fight that stuff. We want to do Dims the Rule stuff. Those are definitely segments we want to do. And then we just, we form this thing together. But I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's funny is as we were doing it, besides the role playing thing, most of that was kind of like a Turtles Come Out and Fight that, essentially. More or less, it felt
the same, like where we're like riffing and we're kind of freestyling,
right? Yeah, so that was kind of neat, but yeah, and then if you have the quick questions, we got Shell Shock that we used to do. So if you want to fire a bunch of those at us, we can go through that. You already said the long form emails. There was something else I was gonna mention that was an old drink, new drink, stuff like that we used to do, where we have a topic that's very divisive and we argue both sides of it. That and
typically like also it was always kind of aimed at like where almost everyone believes it's either old or new drink. So like we got one that was like Nickelback. It was like, oh, new drink Nickelback because the person knew that we wouldn't like Nickelback as a band. So nobody does, quote unquote, even though they sell a bunch of records and they always sell out their shows. No one likes Nickelback.
It's true.
So we were assigned to do that, and that was fun. So yeah, if just from hearing us talk on the show, like, oh, these guys love X-Men, old drink X-Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just make us
like talk about all the
stab it in
bad
the
stuff
back.
about them.
You know what I mean? Like, then we'll do that. 'cause
And
it's
so
kinda fun.
that's what
But
this is going to be. And then if y'all ever send us physical stuff again, we'll talk about it on the show still, definitely. But to go into it more detail, we want to save it for episodes like this and the mailbag stuff and all that. So hopefully we conveyed this well enough. But nevertheless, either way, whatever the situation is, if you don't understand or if you don't understand the assignment, email us, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. Again, you can find us home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com. And then, rate, review, subscribe on everything, YouTube and all the other stuff that you're listening to us at. And we really appreciate it. And thanks for joining us here with doing this fun thing, and let us know what you thought about it.
For a bit of an experiment. By the way, feedback. If you're just like, I'm gonna write them an email about what I think that bonus show could be and how I thought like they could build on this and things I didn't like about this last one and things that would be a lot more fun, then like throw that in an email. Criticism. I'm down for that.
Yeah, save the criticism for emails. Don't put it in the review if you don't mind, and give us a 1 star for this. Please don't do that.
Good.
Just email us.
Eric, this won't be an audio podcast.
Oh, it won't be. Okay, good.
No 1-star review.
Okay, good.
There's thumbs down and bad comments.
Right.
That's what you're talking about.
That's comments I can deal with, but
that's your new animal. I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, obviously, guys, next week we'll be back with the next issue of Image. Obviously, next week is on to the next Turtle Soup episode, so we'll be right back there again until the end of March, where we will do this kind of thing again. Yeah. So we've got a whole month to plan and daydream for what the next one of these will be. But we really appreciate you showing up and hanging out in chat and watching now and later. All right. So until we see you next week.
Else time.